Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. However you happen to be watching and or listening to this, I want to welcome you to the latest episode of the Gaming Circle podcast. The podcast where, frankly, I've been very tired this week. There's been a lot of stuff going on life-wise. We did play some games and there's some interesting things to talk about, so I am here. And I'm joined, of course, by the brother who's out there doing his own fair share of lifing. Lots of stuff going on. Mr. Everborn Saga, good morning, sir. How you doing, man?
What's happening? Now the question is, am I as low as I usually am?
To my ears, it sounds good, man. Let's wait and hear what the public says.
It's a weekly tradition. My audio comes in low.
Actually, I would say your audio is louder than mine right now. If I'm looking at the soundboard of it, it looks like you're good. So hopefully, folks agree. So anyway, how's life going on, bro? I know you wake up way earlier than me these days, Mr. Contractor.
5 a.m. every day before the worm gets away.
Yeah. I understand. It's a beautiful thing, though. Were you able to do some gaming and stuff this week?
Shinobi is what I'm doing this week. And there's one other thing that I'd like to, one other game that I'd like to talk about, which is, and I want to get the name properly. Are we going straight to gaming?
We're just just a tip right now. Pause.
Hello. All right. Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree is the other one.
Why does that sound familiar to me? Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree. Okay.
Yes. Now, I only played this for about an hour, right? Mm-hmm. It is a roguelite.
Of course, because it is you who plays these games, so of course it'd be a roguelite. Continue. Yes.
It's from Bandai Namco. Now it's currently sitting at a mixed. It's at mixed on Steam right now, but I think it's very well put together. They've got a crafting system, and the combat loop is very, very addictive. This is like, I guess the best way to describe it is like a. What's the name of this game? Okay, it is what I wanted Towerborn to be from a perspective, right?
We notice how we've all not gone back to Towerborn, even though we collectively said we would.
Yeah.
Sucks.
But it's also very like waifu heavy, so depending on how you feel about that. But the action loop is pretty fun. The gameplay is pretty snappy. There's a lot of menus and stuff to click through, so that gets annoying to me very quickly because I hate those. I'm not saying it has gacha mechanics. It's a roguelike, but every time you clear an area, like you get random drops to take into the next area.
2D style isometric camera kind of thing, right? Let me share and show what that looks like.
But the combo system's very fun. It's the power-ups are really exciting. Art style's very, very good.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, you always have to stay on the move. I had to change my button mechanics around on this a little bit because the default, they do like the Souls kind of button layout, which I think is stupid. I'm not pressing RB to attack. I got to press X to attack, but stuff like that. But no, I like this one. It was on sale for like $23 when I got it. I don't know if it's like $30 now, but I think it was a good $23 spent.
So real quick before we continue, shout out to all the great people that are here. Erodimus with the first question of the day. He asked, "Why are we here? Xbox One."
Oh man, we'll get to that. But now, can you highlight Lucius's comment? Because I think this is
he says. Old men can never change.
Before, yeah. He never touched Towerborn because they didn't bring it to Xbox until later. So to that, I'm gonna actually you on this, sir. Right? it came
That's
to
the
Steam.
first. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. It came to Steam, but it came to Steam in early access, right? But before that early access, you could access this game on your Xbox before it was on Steam in the Insider program. So you did get to play it on console before you were able to play it on Steam. So and I get like early access, like we should have got it, but again, it did come to the console first, and then it went to Steam, and then it went to everybody. So I don't know that I can get down with the idea that it didn't come to Xbox till later, because even when it came to Steam, that wasn't an official release; that was an early access release. So
he retorts
Insider.
He retorts to that by saying, I ain't putting my Xbox on live support just to play one game.
Yeah, but you gonna do this beta boy stuff on Steam to play games that's not ready for prime time yet? 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. I don't know.
Yes, understood. Anyway, so this game has been keeping you busy this week. You've been playing. How many hours?
No. Shinobi is the one that's been keeping me busy this week. I got it and I played it for an hour, but it was really fun. I hope it doesn't get relegated to the backlog, but you know how those things go.
And that might be a conversation we need to have today, because
Shinobi right now. But
you spoke about Towerborn, and the same thing like is up there.
The difference is, though, I actually like this one. So
so are you saying that all the ones that get regulated to the backlog are games you don't like?
No, that's not true. There's a lot of games that I like that I just don't have time.
Because I don't think that's a lot of people's paradigm as well. So what do we do in that scenario?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what's happening, right? There are more games to play than there ever has been in our lifetimes, right? More high quality stuff. And that partly happens when the tools and distribution models evolve to where more people can create things, right? So we used to have curated lists that went through gatekeepers to tell us this is what you should play, and this is why everything or most things seemed more special, at least at a more consistent cadence. Now, when the distribution becomes commoditized, it is easier for anyone to make these things, and so we have so much more, but then because anyone can make a game, then you get any kind of game, right? So there's a lot of things to sift through. That being said, there's so many really high quality games, more than before. But these days, because there's so much high quality, it's not good enough just to be good anymore. You have to be excellent.
You got to stand out. Yeah. You're not wrong. That I have seen that paradigm myself. Yeah. Good is not good enough anymore.
Yeah, and I think it's the problem. That's the problem, because we miss out on a lot of good stuff. But like, again, where's the time to play all these things, right? So, what do we do? I think this is what happened to me with Ragebound, why I had to put. I mean, the checkpoint system is really why I put down Ragebound. But I'm playing it. There's these other games out, and then they have this like unforgiving checkpoint system to where if you turn the device off, unless you're doing quick resume on Xbox, you got to start the whole level over, and you got to be in the right frame of mind if you want to start a level over. So for that, I just said, let me go to Shinobi, which doesn't do that at all. You get a checkpoint, you can start back from that checkpoint. So that's just the world we live in. There's so much to play. Your patience and tolerance for things that are just okay, or things with onerous mechanics, like they just get banished to the Shadow Realm.
He said onerous mechanics get banned to the Shadow Realm. That is terrible, sir. I wouldn't. Yeah. Because some of these, at least for me anyway, some of these things are not. Some of these things in the Shadow Realm are not there because of one issue or another. It's just a matter of timing, right? Like, while I agree with you that if you have something about your game that I particularly don't vibe with, that will increase your chances into the Shadow Realm more. but there are many games that I would say are actually pretty darn good. I just don't have the time for it. Hence the Shadow Realm.
Right, but in your limited time, right? You have a limited time to play.
Mm.
Do you have time to play things that are not a cut above the rest? Right.
But see, that's the thing. I don't know that it's a cut above the rest or not. It's judging books by their cover, at least for me, anyway.
No. I mean, it's not that. What we're talking about is, and maybe you and I are having different conversations. What I'm specifically talking about is games that were worthy enough for me to take the plunge and purchase and start playing. The question is about how do I choose which games I'm going to stick with versus play for a few hours, play for 20 hours, and then decide, all right, time to move on, right? And again, more and more these days, if you're not doing a good job to keep my and again, I'm a person who typically is not. I've grown into a grazer. I know that's a term that you use a lot, but I'm typically the person when I want a game with a beginning, middle, and end, and I want to finish that game and move on to the next one. That's typically how I play. The challenge now is deciding, all right, which one is the one I'm going to stick with till the end. Because I'll usually try a few and then end up landing on one that'll just be, all right, this is the one I'm going to the end with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be Ragebound, but I got to the end and I tapped out. I might go back to it, but I suspect they're going to come out with an update that fixes that save situation because they got a lot of complaints about it.
So as for me, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on specific games we're playing because there are two games that I'm playing and both are boring. One I've talked about at length and I keep talking about because it's amazing. And that, of course, is Silksong. Y'all know Silksong. You know we're going to be playing Silksong. I suspect I'll be playing that for some time. The second one, I just started playing this for reasons that will become clear soon. But I will tell you, I'm cheating right now by showing you video from someone else. This is not my video footage, but I think this will crystallize it at least for people. I am playing War for Cybertron, oddly enough.
Oh yeah, that came out for like 5 minutes and then got delisted again. I saw that.
True, yes, but you can find it on what do you call it, on archive.org. You know, depending on how comfortable you feel about downloading something from archive.org. You know, I'm one who advocates for if it's not accessible anywhere else and it's on archive.org, I would go find it there. So we found.
I bet Lon will do that, but he won't do it early. He won't do it inside a program.
Stop the cap, sir. Stop that. See, that's what I call shadowboxing because he's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, but I named him right now. He can come here anytime. That's not shadowboxing. I don't think you understand what shadowboxing means, sir. But anyway, Lon says hell no.
There you go. Yes.
Question.
But yes.
One more thing that I forgot to mention. So today. I will be getting into Sonic Racing. I was waiting for the official release.
Okay.
So I haven't done it yet. You can pull my card, Major. But this weekend I will be getting into Sonic Racing.
Very nice. We look forward to hearing your thoughts on Sonic Racing, which by all accounts is the best Sonic racing out there.
The best kart racing.
Some of the best kart racer, yes. Some even say it's better than Mario Kart World, which sounds like blasphemy to me, but who knows? Okay. All right. So we're not going to spend too much time on the games, at least for me, because as I said, Silksong and War for Cybertron. Why am I playing War for Cybertron? Because it's out there and there's potential of it coming back and that caught my excitement. So I was like, why not? Let's give it another shot. Because I can. Exactly. Real quick, the great Soul Tech, member of the community, Discord police, we'll call him the Discord police. He says with a $2 super chat, well, sold out yet? Please hit the like button and sub. and then
Andrew Wilkins.
Well, no, wait. Go ahead.
Real quick. I see you in the chat, Andrew Wilkins. Here's what I'm going to recommend for you, sir. I recommend you come to the Discord. And see how well your arguments hold up there.
Yeah, because that's the octagon of ideas right there.
Yes.
Good luck. Good luck.
We formally invite you to come to the Discord, Andrew Wilkins.
Lucius Augustus, $2 super chat. He says, Ragoon, stand up. Who got their pre-orders? Okay,
yes,
so
sir.
that leads into
this right here.
That leads into the conversation that I want to have. So and I'll put this on Front Street real quick while we have this convo, because I feel like that's what a lot of people are here for. So let's put the goodness at the top. That's what we're doing right now. So I put out a poll, right? After we and what are we talking about? We're talking about the Xbox ROG Ally. That's what we'd be talking about here. We finally got the price and all of that. Put out a poll, and the poll was basically, hey, ROG Ally, we now know the price. What you thinking? You buying it or you not? This is the poll. This is the results of the poll. Now, of course, my audience is a subset, not the whole audience, just a subset, right? Put it out for, I think, a day and a half or so before the show. 3,000 some odd people saw it. 500 some odd people voted, and the end result being 44% of the audience says nope, they're not voting. And we'll get into the explanations at the bottom. But I would also say 29 and then 25 together. That would be either I'm buying it day one, or I'm waiting for reviews and then buying. So the larger swath of the audience is still ending up pre-ordering or buying it ultimately. But yes, a lot of interesting comments about whether they bought it or they didn't. Right, a lot of people saying it doesn't fit their lifestyle. They voted no. They don't need a handheld for their situation. They wanted one, but they can't use it anywhere. Of course, we have Sycamore out here doing what Sycamore does. Of course, right? Price, no native Xbox games, that kind of thing. So, Mr. Everborn Saga, I know you were super excited for this thing. Right? The price tag is now known. What's the price tag? So that we can all talk about it. The price tag is
$100.
$1,000. Yeah, $1,000 for the big dog, $600 for the little dog. I see you in here as well, Mr. Lilly. Shout out to you. It's been a minute. Hope you're doing well, sir. What do you think, Everborn Saga? It's out there now. People know about it now. What do you think of the series, the Ally X and the Ally, and the price point and all that?
All right, so let me start. I, true to my word, I said if this thing comes in at $1 above 1,000, that was tap out territory. I guess they heard me and put it $1 under. You sons of bitches. But anyway, but I was genuinely expecting this to be $8.99, and that would have been super aggressive. I think if you look at this thing with console eyes, and I know that there's an Xbox button on it, so all the people...
and Lucius, hold on one second. Lucius over here trying to get at me. He says, "Don't add the extra $1," and then he also says, "Jeff Keely Asante over here, sir." I'm literally reading it from the website. Look at what the website says: $1,000 and $600. I'm just reading from the site.
All right. Listen, real quick. Aside from that,
this was just me reading from the site.
Now, I am getting ready to do a little bit of shadow boxing.
Okay,
right?
okay.
So you can get this
go ahead.
Ready. Now,
okay.
All of these people that told you this thing was a PC, and they told you it's the same thing as their existing ROG Ally X, right?
One thing. Yeah, that's Windows Central, not Xbox Wire. Sure, I didn't say I was reading it from from Xbox Wire. Right, I was just reading the website that I'm on. Why can I not do that, sir? What's the problem?
Let me get the rant. So all those people that told you it's not an Xbox, it's just a PC, it's the same thing as my current ROG Ally X.
Yep.
They see pricing in line with their current device.
With the same exact device.
And then they're like, oh my God,
losing their minds.
Why is it so high? Hold on. I thought you knew what it was. I thought you knew. I thought you said it's the same thing as your OG Ally or your Ally X. which your Ally X right now is $899, and this is better than your Ally X.
True.
Right? Your OG Ally launched at $700. It's now down to $649, and this one is $599. Right? So you cannot have this both ways, right? And we gonna never mind that these are the same people that told you PlayStation was gonna block the games on this thing if it had Xbox on it. We already won that argument, so we gonna let that go.
A lot of shadow boxing here today. Go ahead.
At least I announced that this was a shadow box, right? So once again, if we are looking at current HX370 Strix Point devices, Z2E devices, this is in. Oh no, I gotta stop talking because I'm agreeing with but this is actually aggressively priced, right? And the only people saying $1,000 for a device for an Xbox device that don't play your Xbox games are people that didn't want this device to begin with, and people that told you the whole time it was a PC. Now they acting surprised it don't play console games. So we have to stop that, right? If you're just not in the market for one of these and you want a console device, say that, right? If you just don't like it because it got an Xbox logo on it, say that. If you can't afford it, say that too. That's all cool. But don't come in here like this price is out of bounds. Now again, I do have some smoke for the price because I do think it is $100 too high. And I will say, if you have a current Ally X or a Claw, the Intel variant, right? I'm not recommending anybody that has those devices run out and buy this. I think this is a great upgrade if you had the OG Ally or you are looking to get into this space for the first time, right? So and I want to talk about that, right? John says $1,000 for 7 inches is wild. So if you're in this space, right, all of the other competitors right now, the Strix Point competitors, they've all moved to 8-inch screens, right? Now Lenovo went 8-inch OLED VRR that starts at 30 FPS, which is crazy.
Pretty wild. Yeah.
Right. But I don't want to hear people comparing the $1,100 Legion Go 2 to this, because that is
what kind of ruined it, I think. And again, this is not a fair comparison, but it did kind of ruin things. When the Switch went to 8 inches, now everyone sees 8 inches as the floor.
But it's not even the 8 inches are not the thing that. Okay, this sounds crazy. Pause. But
I know, big pause right now.
What is the issue is know that they kept the same amount of memory, 24 gigs. All the other contemporaries are doing 32, right? We know they kept the same panel in order to save on costs. So if you didn't go 32 gigs and you kept the same panel that's in the existing models, which is still one of the best in the business, don't get it twisted, right? You did that for cost savings, but you didn't pass that cost on, those cost savings on to the consumer. This device, to my mind, because you kept the 7-inch screen, because you didn't go to 32 gigs of memory, should have been $899.
Yep, it should have been an upgrade that basically gives you the same.
I'm taking into consideration current market conditions and tariffs. No tariffs, it should have been $799. But we do live in that world, and I just think and again, Lucius is right. It's the Z2E. AMD is charging an arm and a leg for these things, but again, everybody else had to add more memory and update their panels. What makes Asus immune to that? You know what I mean? So I just think if you're gonna charge $1,000,
I think the problem what made, I wouldn't say they're immune, but what made people have a different potential outcome in mind was the fact that they contracted with, or not contracted, but they basically did the collaboration with Microsoft with Xbox. I honestly think that gave people a different perception, right? Which let's be clear, is probably a false perception because here we are, right? But yeah, I will say I was susceptible to that, right? Like this falls in line with where
on stuff and people lose their mind. That's one.
No.
Right? You're talking about
this falls in line. Yeah, this falls in line with where they would have most likely gone without having Microsoft backing them, right? Like imagine a Legion Go comes out. A Legion Go. Imagine a ROG Ally. The next Ally comes out, right? All the same specs. Everything's the same. No Xbox association whatsoever. This price lines up. It does, which is surprising because what did Microsoft really do? How then, speculation, obviously, how did they help drive that price to be competitive? Because this seems like it would have this lines up exactly where they would have been anyway. Do you disagree?
That's hard to say, right? Like at the end of the day, like they made a device in 2023, they made a device in 2024. This is their 2025 device. And Six Layer says something important. A lot of the times we have this discussion and we completely leave ASUS out of it.
Yes. This is a big ASUS driver. Yes.
Right. Which again, I just find interesting because when they want to blame Microsoft for something, it's a Microsoft device, and then when they don't, then it's not an Xbox. But anyway, that's fine. I'm shadowboxing again. My point is,
yes, you are.
I think that in this market, maybe the device would have been more expensive, but I think that ASUS would have had to come with 32 gigs. I don't think they would have stuck with 24. And I have to wonder if it's because of the MPUs that they figured, well, we getting the chips with that turned on, so that must be more expensive than the other ones. And so now you got to find other places to save costs. And I hope that those NPUs, when they turn them on, are
make it worth it. Yes.
I will say, if it had an 8-inch screen and it had 32 gigs, maybe Everborn would have been comfortable paying $1,100.
Oh, but we see what you're doing now, though. Now you're kind of almost getting to the close justification for the Legion Go 2, because that's where they are.
Nope. Because the $1,100 Legion Go is a non-starter, 16 gigs of memory, and you're effectively getting D1E.
True. That is very much.
That being said, listen, we're just having honest talk, and this is honest talk from somebody who put his money on the line. So let's be real here. Let's be real with this, right? So you ended up getting the Ally X, right? You damn right I did. Couldn't wait.
Okay.
Pre-ordered in. Wait, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you guys a funny story.
Here we go.
It was a Thursday night, right? This was me and Lady Everborn time.
Oh, don't go there. Don't go there. This is PG-13, sir.
No, PG-13. I was mid foot massage.
Okay.
And I was like, oh snap. I'll be right back. By the time I got the pre-order secured, the Lady Everborn was snug as a bug in bed, and that was it for me for the rest of the night.
And by the way, the reason why I say PG-13 is because we're in the Discord when this all happens, right? We're just chatting, chopping it up, and then Everborn shows up and goes, well, I was in the middle of something, but I am here to make my purchase. And we're all like, excuse me? What were you in the middle of?
So this is the funny thing. I know that we got the headlines that the X sold out on Microsoft.com, but the pre-orders was still available in the morning on Best Buy, which is where I ordered from. So I didn't even have to do all of that.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a
just
quick
to
moment.
give you an example of how excited I was for the device. The price didn't sway me away because it is in line and it's actually very competitive for what is currently on the market. It's just not as aggressive as I would like it to be.
So and full disclosure, I ended up not buying one, at least not yet. Most likely I'll get my hands on one at some point, but I did not buy one at the current price point. And the reason for that is because I Like, just as you were saying they can't go $1 over 1,000. For me, for the low end, they couldn't go $1 over 550, and they did. So
I do want to
bowed
talk
out
to you
for me.
about that, because we had a small conversation. Now you use some colorful language about the $599 price. Do you still stand by that language?
I think let me be absolutely clear. I think at $599 it doesn't sell like a million in the first year. I don't think so. Because that to me is beyond that threshold, right? I think 499 would have been that sweet spot. 550 would have been okay. 6. I'm not saying the thing is dead. I know we were having colorful language time. I'm not saying it's dead, but what it would have done, what it would have meant to this industry, to this specific sphere, I don't think it means that for the sphere anymore.
Here's the difference for me, right? I think
and by the way, real quick, while you tell me what you think, it is still available for pre-order at Best Buy right now, both of them. But continue, yes.
Yeah, so I think that if the prices were $799 and $499, I believe they would have moved multiple millions.
Yes,
that's my opinion.
Yeah,
that being said,
I agree.
I still believe that at $599 and $999, we will see. There's a bet going on in the Discord. We have this cool channel in the Discord, by the way. We call it the Knees Archive. So when people make bold claims or predictions, we write it down in that chat, and then we can go back as like a time machine to see who was right and who was wrong. So the bet that we have now in the Discord is, will the new Xbox Ally devices reach 1 million in sales in the first year, in 12 months? Right. So by October 2026, at these prices, and we didn't know the prices when we made those bets. I think we were under different assumptions on prices, but I still stand by. I think we are good to go for 1 million in the first year of these devices. So let me. You are backing off that bet. You were with me.
Yes. I was with you. I was with you at my threshold of 550.
And it's important. We're saying 1 million in 12 months, not a million like launch, like a console launch.
Yeah, like 1 million in 12 months. Yes, I was with you at 550 and at 899, but at 600 and at 1,000, I'm not as confident that it will sell 1 million in 12 months. I'm not as confident. So there's that. Doesn't mean again, let me be absolutely clear. Doesn't mean that I think it's trash now or whatever. Like for me, it needed to be $499 or $550 at most for me to get one of these guys. I was in the market to get one, but now I will wait until it gets a little cheaper. These things are going to be with us for a while. I'm pretty sure that at some point it will. You will see certain interesting deals moving and shaking here after the first bite is done, and after the first people are very super excited about the first.
I would keep my eye out for Black Friday.
Yeah,
Best Buy.
Exactly.
When Microsoft
this is exactly my point. Yes, exactly. 100%.
And listen, every Ally device has traditionally had different sales that come and go, right? Yeah. I remember when the OG Ally came out, that Best Buy specifically had a special where you get it for like $80 off. So it was a $700 device. You got it for $620, right? The Ally X came out at $799, but then I know it went up eventually, but there were different sales when it could come down. So you don't need to get this thing on day one, and they will stock it all year. So I don't let FOMO get you on this. And I do say, if you're looking at the high end one, it is very prudent. Don't spend $1,000 without getting those reviews. Right. And the only people I recommend this to are people who have the OG Ally and want an upgrade, or people who are curious about jumping into PC
waters of Lake Minnetonka. Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
But not if you already have one of the more high-end $1,000 devices. And also if you're coming from console, I don't know if I want to recommend you spend $1,000 just because you may not like it. So I would
Yep.
say get the entry level model if you're coming from console and you want to try this stuff out.
See, but this is exactly why I was recommending it exactly as I was, right? And that's why I'm exactly what you're describing now is why I'm less confident that they'll sell that million, because coming from console, the white one was definitely your next where you should go. Like that's the one that was being marketed towards, in my estimation, towards the console user, right? Obviously, this is not a console. Not saying it is, but this was being like it was more palatable towards console users.
I want to ask
at
you,
this price point, I think it goes beyond that.
I want to ask you I don't know if this is a philosophical or a principle question, but how much do you think whenever the PlayStation 6 device comes out and they have a portable variant, how much do you think that's going to cost? You think it's going to be closer to the 600 mark or closer to the 400 mark?
So unless something has changed, those same places where those rumors came from also said they were trying to keep it still in console territory, right?
Yeah,
which tells you
territory is very different than what
no. When we say console territory, we're talking about console territory for PlayStation, right? We're not talking about what the market looks like now. We're talking about what their market looks like. And yes, they also have a pro console that's in the $700-800 territory, right? So I'm not judging them based on what Microsoft or what anyone else is doing. I'm judging them based on what they are historically doing, right? So, and they have said that, well, the rumor that brought that about said that they would be basically trying to keep it still within traditional console frame. So that tells me you won't get that much of a huge leap forward, but you're also going to be sub $1,000.
No, 1,000%. I guess what I'm getting at is that I would think that whatever the PlayStation future handheld is probably in that $600 range. And that tells me that $600 is not beyond the pale for something to be on shelves next to a Switch. And I'm sorry, these devices will have access to more games than whatever $600 so I don't see $600 as a non-starter for a handheld is what I'm saying.
Well, okay, so $600 for a handheld, I'm not saying that that's the non-starter, but for me the reason why that price was a little detrimental is that it makes it a more difficult proposition for a console gamer in my eyes, because most console gamers don't put the value on this hardware where it belongs.
I'll be back in 1 second. You keep talking.
Okay. I'm listening. Okay. Yeah. So to me, most console gamers, rightly so, don't put value on the hardware where it belongs, right? Like it is just another surface where they play their games, right? And those games are accessible there as they are accessible in a console or say on the Switch, which is a mobile console. So if you're trying to slowly eke off a bit of their market, right, you need to be price comparative, whether it's fair or not. You need to be somewhat price comparative if you're going to steal some of their folks, right? And with the hope that once you steal some of their folks, you can open their eyes to the fact that this thing does more, and that's why it's worth more, right? But when you are not within that close price comparative nature with the big dog, which is the Switch right now, then to me, like that potential won't be as pronounced, right? You won't get a normal person to look at that as a viable option, because the Switch, frankly, if you can find one without a bundle, is $450, right? If the other one was $550, $100 at most, that's still a tough sell, but still it's a sell. At $600 now, it's completely out of the realm of possibility, to someone who doesn't see its inherent value from day one. That's basically how I've seen this thing, and that's why for me, at $600, I don't see it hitting 1 million, at least specifically because of like that small one. I don't see it hitting 1 million sales in 12 months. Doesn't mean it won't ultimately hit there. It won't ultimately get there. It won't ultimately, be successful. I think it will be, but they could have been a bit more aggressive and they weren't. And I feel like that's a bit of a missed opportunity. While we wait for Mr. Everborn Saga.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Yeah. Reply. Go ahead.
So just back up for a second on why with the $599 price that you think it'll turn console people away.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Can we? I don't want to break protocol. But Doc, they are mad, and it is an Xbox, right? The people, you know what's funny? Doc?
Shout
They're
out to Doc
saying,
Dark.
oh, it's not an Xbox, it's a Windows device. Let me ask you a question, Doc. Who owns Windows? And who owns Xbox? If the owners of the IP tell you that this is what it is, then this is what it is. Oh, please continue. I'm sorry, I didn't want to break protocol.
No, you good. And shout out to Doc Dark. Salute to you, good sir. Appreciate the shout out in the video. It was hilarious, by the way. Hilarious. We were all laughing. Anyway. But yes. At the end of the day, look, for me, the reason why I say it may turn off a console gamer is because console gamers are used to playing in that $400-$500 waters, right? And if you're a console gamer and you come to this thing knowing that it's the low end and it still blows your budget, I think that's a harder sell to make. And that's even for a person who's a console gamer who you're there, who you know what this thing is potentially, right? For those who are just like trying to convince mom and dad to buy something, mom and dad know that the Switch is at $450, $500. This $600 item blows the budget and you can't convince them of why.
Yeah, but I think,
you know what I mean? I feel like $550 or $500 would have been a good argument point. It would have been like a good competitive point, right? Again, not to say that it's gonna turn the market upside down or anything. Not saying that at all. But at that $500 or $499 or $450, that would have been a very or $550 rather. I'm sorry. That would have been a very, very good argument to make, and I think it may have convinced some people. $600, I think it convinces less people. That's what I'm saying.
Sure, but the question is how much less people, right? Because some percent, so there's a price tolerance, right? And as you raise it, it's not like a cliff, right? So as you get
more and more people will get off the train as it gets more and more expensive, of course.
Right. So the question is, what percentage of people their upper bounds is $599? And I'm saying this only to say that the reason I don't think that the $599 price ultimately pushes people away in that way is because I do believe that in the handheld space, $600 is not going to be an unprecedented thing, right? We know that the Steam Deck was able to sell multiple millions of units. And I know I'm not saying this is that, but it was able to sell multiple millions of units with the large majority of the
but it's a different audience, right? Like a Steam Deck audience is an already like mature, intelligent, knows about their PC audience. So they know what this hardware
but that assumes
that's a different paradigm.
But doesn't that assume that only console people want this?
No, I'm not saying that only console people want it. What I'm saying is this is geared, you put the Xbox logo on it for console people. You don't do that for PC people, right? But this is geared towards the console people.
Xbox has been in the PC space for well over
I know. I get that. But again, the lower end, what are you disagreeing that the lower end was mainly meant?
The lower end was geared towards the Steam Deck.
I disagree with that. Right? I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I think the lower end was geared towards those who currently have consoles who might want to jump into the water.
There were two people that were in consoles.
No. Obviously, there's a large swath of the market that would want something like that. But I think that was their main focus. Like those console people were their main focus for this. That's why there was a lot of conversation about this is a console, this is a PC, this is an Xbox. Like that was their main focus, was those who are currently in the console ecosystem of theirs.
But was there any specific marketing documentation that says the white one is for console people only?
Not necessarily. No, not necessarily. That's true. Not necessarily. Yeah.
I think it has a similar chip architecture. I think that that device in the low end is the Steam Deck competitor, and the X is the high end Windows competitor. That's the way I view it.
So you don't see any of this. You don't see any of this hardware playing towards the console market currently. This is so what you're saying is this is for those of us like who are day one Steam Deck. This is solely for that market. Like the boomsticks of the world were never geared towards that. Were never marketed towards this.
I don't think it's solely anything, right? I think it's doing all those things. The question is how much, like, let's put it this way.
And by the way, real quick, what I have on the screen while we're having this conversation, what I have on the screen are the top end competitors now. Some of them are easier available than others, right? One is pre-order, one is sold out, one's coming soon. But these are the top end competitors now in this market. But continue, everyone.
Right. If these devices did not have an Xbox logo on it, right, and they would still have the same prices based on what the hardware that they're offering is, we wouldn't say the lesser one is geared towards console people, right? So this is an extension of the devices that Asus already has in the market, and it is talking to people that are into PC handhelds. This will be there are more eyeballs on this, and so if you're saying this won't get the extra people that are coming from the console side that are interested in that, we can have that discussion. But I don't think $50 is an ultimate deal breaker for those people that were ready to take the plunge.
And let's be absolutely clear here. I'm not saying the $50 does the weight as in finances. I think it does the disservice as in the mental programming, right? Like now it's a $600 device versus $550 or $449, right? Like I feel like the psychology is where it fails, not necessarily in the finances, because it's only $50.
But psychology wise, right? And I understand that these are, I'm only asking you to guess right now, right? But using your analogy, right? What percentage of the people that you think were interested in the white device, this extra $50 will turn them off? Is it a 20%?
Honestly,
50%?
Honestly, I think it lines up pretty well, if not perfectly, but like well enough with the poll that I did, where like of the 567 people who voted, which let's be clear, my audience tends to be console gaming Xbox audience, right?
I don't know.
44.
Okay. I think
no, it is, bro. Most of the folks on the timeline tend to be Xbox folks because of Boomstick and a lot of our followers that we tend to play in these waters, right? Yes, I talk to PC people as well, but there are more, and this is just me. You can disagree with me, but this is me taking a view of my audience. It tends to be that my audience is more Xbox focused. This is why so many people like watch the video of the full screen experience, because they want this, right? The Venn diagram of Xbox people to PC people is strong in my timeline, right? And by and large, again, I will say if you combine the 29%, right, which pre-ordered day one, and the 25.7%, which are waiting for reviews, if you combine those, that's a larger swath of my audience, which lines up, I think. But 44% said no, and most of it is price. Like, look through. There are 53 responses in the thing. And of the 44%, and I said, the option was no, and then explain, I have 53 responses, and it's all a combination of price and lifestyle.
Now, let me ask you this question, right? And by the way, shout out to Lemon 108 Dragons. He says,
was good. Yes.
Wait, 108, you might be on my channel, and because we're simul streaming, so you might want to go.
And by the way, just so we know, just so it's clear, you will catch me in the Dragon's Den tonight, because I will be on 108 Dragons TV tonight, talking more handheld and other gaming goodness. Shout out to 108 Dragons for the invite. Appreciate you, good sir. But yes, I'll be there tonight. Real quick.
So yes, I do agree that the top end is not really geared towards the console gamer, unless it's like the ultra hardcore console gamer, right? What our discussion right now is the entry level model, right?
Yes. So
my thing is that I believe that the people that thought the device was too expensive and therefore they're turned off of it, a lot of those people were only considering the X, because what we hear, everybody that quotes this thing, and you can do this test right now. Any journalist that talked about this thing in a negative way, they all said $1,000 for something that doesn't play your console games, right? They never even talked as if the entry-level model existed, right? And most of the conversation is around the $1,000 price point, even though, as we're saying, that's not really for them. So that's one part of it. But I say this to say a lot of the people who say they are priced out is because they were looking at the X, because they wanted the top end model, and $1,000 or $900 is a non-starter. So what I'm saying is, the people that are saying they are price conscious, I don't know if $50 moves them one way or the other. I think $900 would have been too much for those people, and I think that $550 would have been too much for those people for the low end, because these are people who want the X, but they want to spend $500 for it.
Sure, but that's exactly the point. That's exactly the point, right? Those who are in my timeline right now saying nope are those who usually buy the consoles because, well, this is the device for the next however many years. They don't buy the low end. They are not Series S purchasers. They're Series X purchasers, right? But because they are in these waters, you are now marketing the Series S towards them, and you're getting them out of position completely, because even the Series S is outside of their normal price point. This is why I say at the prices that we're looking at right now, I don't see them getting to that million in the first.
But what I'm saying is, those Series S people, if you're telling them Series S, even $499 would have been too much for those people.
No, you know what? I think that had you, like, that same audience, had you had a $499 S variant for them, right? Because at this point, both are out of their position. Had you had the S for them, they would have relented and most would have gotten with the S. Because they don't know what they need. They just want the hardware. These folks that we're describing they don't tend to be speeds and feeds people. But if their budget would have been okay for one of them, they would have been okay with one of them. But made it out. You've made their price, made it outside of their possibility for both of them.
So here's the thing. You and I both were under the impression that this thing would have been $550, and you were okay in your prediction at $550.
Yes. Yeah, at $550, I thought it could still squeeze it out. Yes.
If $550 didn't.
Oh, hold on. Apologies. I said $550, they could squeeze it out. So now I get to do this. Oh, did it not work?
Sound effect.
It didn't work.
Means everything.
Anyway, go ahead.
I think that if $550 wasn't already a non-starter for you, the number of people who the extra $50 kills the deal for, I think it is smaller than you may be anticipating, but I could be wrong. But that's where our disagreement.
That's where we will disagree. Absolutely.
To the degree of which
I think it's psychological more than anything else. Yeah, I think that it's psychological more than anything else. The reason why America still to this very day says, and you can buy it now for $499 instead of $500. It's psychological. It really is, because this thing is $600, but they'll say it's $499 or $599 because saying is $600. That's where it loses people. I think it's all psychological, but it is what it is. So that's where we are. Okay. Let's do that real quick. Yes.
And I yes. Call with
no worries. Now, Lucius, the great Lucius Augustus, in here with a $5 super chat. He says Microsoft using GTA characters to sell Xbox Ally seems like an own goal, considering the device will not be able to play GTA 6. At least not at launch, but yes. That is weird, right?
You don't know if they might fix the emulation thing by then.
Yeah, that is very strange, right? Like, no one, when they were doing any of this, went, well, technically, they won't be able to play the next one, day one. But you can technically play the last one, the one that has these characters in it. You can play on that device pretty seamlessly. So there's that. Then Pioneer, at a $10 super chat, says, sorry, Xbox and ROG. I spent over $3,000 on 2 portable PC devices, not including my 4070 Ti desktop. Look forward to the next gen Sarah Phil Xbox what that may be. I suspect is where he's
come
going
what
with it.
man. He's saying come what.
Oh, come what may. My bad. I didn't see that. So I can agree with that, right? You're already well invested in what you have. It is what it is. You'll wait and see what they got next time for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. No notes.
What would be hilarious, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. This is like if GTA 6 ends up launching day and date on PC.
Oh boy, that would be wild. That would be wild.
Gonna have egg on their face.
It's gonna be some salt. Pioneer continues with a $5 super chat and says Xbox sold out, meaning they did better than they thought they would at such a high price. You know,
I want to say talk to me when Best Buy and
yeah, let's talk about that for a moment, because they did come out on Front Street, talk about how it sold out, but technically it's only sold out on Xbox on the Microsoft Store. And when you look at it, it's not really sold out the X on the Microsoft Store. It's sold out the lower grade. No, the X is sold out on Microsoft Store. The S is still available. The white version is still available on the Microsoft Store. So technically it hasn't really sold out everywhere. They're just kind of jumping the gun a little bit. It is
also, this is another thing I'll say on the price. And don't, I know sometimes people like look down on this, but like, do not be afraid of going to Best Buy and getting the open box special, because you still get the warranty.
Oh, heck yeah.
You can get it at the price that it should have came
It should
out
be.
at.
Yes.
If you do that, right? Like if you think this was supposed to be $4.99 or $7.99, just wait. And there's usually always some open boxes in great condition that you could get. So just consider that. You don't have to buy this stuff.
And by the way, like on my for my part, I really could have gotten it, because I have like I've been playing an Xbox rewards program for a long time. I literally have about $100 in gift in Microsoft points right now, just waiting. And I was like, well, the next hardware that I buy on the Microsoft Store, I will use this $100 to do it. So whatever the price is, I can defray it by $100 at the Microsoft Store if I really wanted to. I'm just like,
called that out. Let me find the comment. He said it. He read your
number to bring it down, and I'll have it day one. No, see, but that's the thing. If I wanted to do that, like I could have. I have $100 gift card. I just chose not to do it. I just chose not, because
the night is young.
Look. The night is not young for me. Anyway, let's move on. Hollywood Rules with a $5 super chat. He says, saying good morning, graybeards from poolside in Aruba. Oh, well, good for you, good sir. With the lady Hollywood for her birthday week. ROG Ally X definitely made the trip. Interesting.
As it should.
Interesting.
As it should,
very nice. Very nice. He continues with another $5 super chat and says, didn't pre-order only because I literally just bought my Ally X. It was my number one jump into PC.
First
jump into PC. But I will look. I'll look to get it on Black Friday on / Christmas sale. That's awesome. That's awesome.
The smart way to go. The Ally, like this. If you have not if you have the current Ally, I think it's a huge upgrade if you have the current Ally. It's the same principle why you don't get a new iPhone or a new Galaxy every year. You go every other year, right? So if you have an Ally X right now, it's going to have the same amount of memory. The memory will be a little bit faster, but it's the same amount of memory. The ergonomics will be better. It'll be the same battery, and it's going to be a little bit more efficient, and maybe 15 to 20% in certain cases more performant, right? If you just spent $900 or whatever on that Ally X, the experience is coming there. Do not spend that money right now if you don't have to. Waiting for a sale is the best thing to do. But if you got the white Ally, I do recommend. Or you don't have any.
If you have the white Ally and you can still wait for a sale. You know what? If you have the white Ally and you're like, yo, these prices are wild, but I was hoping for an upgrade, get an Ally X. At this point, the Ally X is super cheap. You can find them.
Well, okay.
You can find them.
New though, because new is
no, not new. Absolutely not. No. Do not buy it new. If you now see these prices and you're like, yo, this is pricing me out. This is ridiculous. And you have the OG Ally, go find you a used LIX. They are very good, and they would be price comparative. Like at this point, would be great for you. Like really, really good.
I'm interested to see what happens to the pricing on the current Ally X now that this is out. Because usually when things like that happen, it'll go down. So you may be able to
go down. Yeah. See, I you know what? Another reason I suspect that they kept the price the way they kept it is because now you can sell the last gen version alongside the next gen because they all have a different price point. If you did go too close, then you'd have to replace the new with the old. But now they can literally sell the Switch and the Switch 2 side by side, if you know what I'm saying, right? Because the prices are different.
That's another thing. If you can get $500 or $600 for that Ally X,
it's a sweet deal at this point.
Right,
sweet deal.
But then you're only putting the difference to get the new one.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
That's what I wanted to do with the 5090, but I couldn't get any at MSRP, so I was like, oh no.
Soil Tech, the great Soil Tech with $2 super chat. He says, never forget. Broke back Charlie Saga. Please like and sub.
Oh God.
Of course, we will never forget, sir. Thank you.
This is why I try to share personal things with you guys, and then
always regret your decision. Yeah. Six Layer with a $5 super chat. He says, do modders install the full screen experience themselves? Also, change the POV of some. I think so. It does for me, yet I pre-ordered. I may cancel it. That is an interesting thought process there. I would say, and actually I've been thinking of potentially putting something out about it. I would say that those who are themselves power users can still find something interesting in the full screen experience. Like I've been playing around with if you really care, there are other launchers in Windows that you can use that do interesting things, both in emulation and other things. I've been playing around with that alongside the full screen experience, and it's very nice. It makes the full screen experience. I would say the full screen experience makes those things shine even brighter. So I would say even in the power user waters, I think modders can have a good reason to want to run it. But I do agree that certain things aren't necessarily lining up. Like for example, those who use what the heck is the name of that tool for upscaling, not modding, but the upscaling tool with the duck. I forget the name of the app now.
That allows lossless scaling.
Lossless scaling, exactly. Lossless scaling does not work in the Xbox full screen experience. I've tried it multiple times. It does not work because they're all in their own little, they're all in their own little environment, so they can't traverse environments.
So just a quick correction, Wade Johnson says the current is called Rog Ally, not Ally X. There is a Rog Ally X. Right, there's an Ally X right now. That's the black.
Yeah, there's an Ally, and then there's an Ally X existing. Yes, the black one. Yeah.
So
shout out to y'all. And of course, before we continue, Sycamore with a $2 super chat. He says the war is over. FAMAS and Ragoons are eating good. Wow, what a wonderful inclusive statement from the leader of FAMAS on a Saturday morning. I wonder what happened to him. Whatever happened, I want to know.
He's gracious in his victory.
Wow, gracious in his victory.
Some people will kick you when you're down. That would be John, but sick. He's winning with.
He's gracious in his victory. Okay. Well, he says, don't believe him. There you go. Anyway.
So Umbra turned into Admiral Akbar. It's a trap.
Do not believe him. That's right. So I say this conversation about which one you should buy and which one I will buy. And by the way, I know that those in the chat have been talking about the GPD Win 5 and all that. I'm not buying the GPD Win 5. That's neither here nor there. But we will talk more about what I will eventually get, because there are devices that I'm looking at now with this out here that I'll talk about sooner when I get my hands on it. But yes, we'll table this one right now because
I want to add to this before we table it. So, I think, because remember, Asus is a hardware company, right? And the whole point of this exercise for Microsoft is to have their OEM partners take on the hardware while they just work on the software layer, and they transition Xbox to a software layer, which is the play that you and I have been talking about for many years now. And it'll be great. Let us pick our own hardware and not be limited to what the platform tells us we have to, right? Great. Love it. That being said, Asus, being a hardware company, needs to sell you something every year. So in 2023, they sold us the Ally. In 2024, they sold us the Ally X. In 2025, they're selling us the Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X. There is no universe where they don't have a new device in 2026. And I believe that 2026 device, it'll probably still be a Strix Point, but it will have that 8-inch screen and it will have that 32 gigs of memory. So if you're not a fan of them sticking with the same screen for 3 years straight, or you think they should have gave us more memory, then I can almost guarantee I'm just making a prediction based on nothing. This is just intuition that they will have a device next year.
So here's my counter to your prediction. I have a counter to your prediction. I wholeheartedly agree with you about this, but I don't think it's happening in 2026. I say 2027.
I think 2027 is the device where they move on from Strix Point.
Nope.
I think 2026 they've got to sell something.
Nope. Because if you have paid attention to Handheld Jesus and the rest of them, shout out to Handheld Jesus, the Fox, who's been on our show a few times. If you've paid attention to them, they are telling you now that the Strix Halo is looking into the future, 2 years into the future, right? Strix Halo is what they will have for you 2 years down the line, but they're giving it to you in a handheld format now, which tells you that until 2 years from now, you're not planning on seeing anything other than what you're seeing today. And if you do, they'll just be incremental tiny upgrades by a different name. But the real actual processor will be after Strix Halo, which is 2028, 2029.
Yeah, but again, right? What I just talked about is an incremental upgrade that allows them the same Strix Point chip. So I'm saying some people, their issue is the 7-inch screen, and their issue is.
So you think you're going to see another Strix Point in 2026 with exactly the same everything, but an 8-inch screen
and extra memory, like a 32 gigs instead of 24. I think that's what they'll release in 2026.
And honestly, when that happens, it won't move the needle, because just like Lenovo is out here doing what they're doing, I've called them already. They are the Ubisoft of this industry. By then, they would have dropped the price dramatically. So how are you going to swim in those waters?
It doesn't. One, I don't think it needs to move the needle. I just think that they're going to sell new devices every year and replace the old one with the new one. So
I'm not sure about that. We'll see. I'm not sure about that.
So you think Asus is not going to release any handhelds next year?
I don't think Asus releases another handheld next year. I think they release your mid-gen refresh. I think they do that in 2027.
So you think they're going to go 2 years with no device? And who else is going to go 2 years? Is Lenovo going to go 2 years?
I don't know about Lenovo, because Lenovo is releasing 6-7 devices in a year. So I don't know about Lenovo, but I think specifically, and even them, I think specifically because of Microsoft and Asus together, this unified device, I think the next one you see in this way is 2027, and that's the next device from Asus. But they don't release one without them, and they don't release a device in 2026. I think 2026 is the year to let this device that we're talking about here shine. Like, they're going to spend 2026 convincing you that this is the worthy, and then 2027 you get another one.
All right. Well, I'm willing to bet you $2 on this, sir.
All right. Well, the last time we bet $2, and he won $2 from me. Let's just be clear. He won $2 from me.
I'm keeping that in my Apple Pay in case.
Well, then you can give me my $2 back.
Yes.
That's right.
This is so on September 27th, the year of our Lord 2025, Everborn is predicting that Asus will make another handheld next year, and it'll still be Strix Point, but it'll have that 8-inch screen, and 32 gigs of memory. And Kay Asante bets not until 2027.
Yep, I think 2027 is the next time you see like another Asus product.
I want you to remember this, and we'll revisit it, and I will.
Well, yeah.
If I am right.
Absolutely, and you have every right to talk to smack if you are correct. I think I will be correct, but we shall see. I see a super chat from the great BT Maverick 707. He says, "Read my comment in the chat, please. It won't let me send this for some reason. That's weird." Let's see what's in the chat. Please put it back in. Please put it back on Front Street, and I'll make sure I read.
I gotta take a call real quick, so you find that, and I'll go do.
Well. So yeah. So before we do this, let me switch things up a little real quick before you peace out there, Everborn Tiger. Let me take a pause. So you go take your call, because I have a quick a divergence that I want to make for our audience, because I feel like we should watch this. And what am I talking about? Real quick, the great Aaron. He has joined us a few occasions on this show. The man who was able to successfully defend 2007 as the year of our Lord, one of the greatest days in gaming, or years rather in gaming. He came here and defended himself rather righteously. And I would say that we should pull up and represent him correctly as well. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about his team is hosting the Swedish Game Awards tonight. I didn't know that was a thing. He told me about it. It's a thing. The Swedish Game Awards is going on tonight, hosted by him and his team. Obviously, the first question you'd ask is, hey, it's the Swedish Game Awards. Will it be in English? Yes, it will be in English. But it's the Swedish Game Awards, and it will be on Twitch tonight. I will put the link in the chat, and I will ask all members who have the opportunity to, please, if you see this and you have the opportunity to go pull up, go talk, go say what's up. Let them know that GCP is where you caught wind of this, and that you will be representing and maybe checking out what's going on. By and large, as you all probably know, the Swedish game industry tends to have a lot of awesome games that we all tend to play. I didn't know that as much until I started going to these events and whatnot. And that game industry tends to have a lot of publishers and developers, famous names within the industry that we all know and love, and presumably they will all be represented here. So I would love to check it out. I want there to be more game awards that are merit based, and this purports to be solely merit based. So if you guys did not know it was there, check it out. The link is in the description. I'll put it in there again. This is just me seeing that some good work is out there, and I want more people to check it out. Hopefully it becomes a thing. But all right, before we move on,
let me take this super chat.
There you go. That's where I was going. Go for it. Go for it.
Yep. BKNY. So he says, in my opinion, Microsoft is not trying to grow the market anymore. They are just going to squeeze all the money they can from their 10 to 30 million diehard Xbox fans with any console or OEM product they release from now on. So I think that's I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong, but I think that's a more cynical framing of what's going on, right? Because at the end of the day, the same can be said for Nintendo and their 150 million users, right? That's not growing exponentially at this stage. It's growing from a revenue perspective, but that's because prices have not come down, right? PlayStation is also not, they're not lowering their prices. Their prices are going up. They're releasing new products. They just try to sell you a desktop speaker, right? So the thing is,
which was very weird.
We can get into that, but
we will get into that.
I think that Microsoft realizes the market is set where it is. Sony has their 120 million, Xbox has their 150 million, and Sony has their 120, Nintendo has their 150, and Microsoft has their anywhere from 20 to 50 million users across the two console, the people that are still on Xbox One and that are on the series now. So yes, they're realizing that would take too much effort to try to grow, and it's just not growing. And it's also not, and I'm not saying from a revenue perspective, but from number of users overall, the size of that market is fairly mature. And when it does grow, it is by single digit percentage, if at all, right? So where growth is on the PC side. So this is more of them in embracing a wave of growth that they're seeing and seeing if they can ride that, rather than doing the very risky and very expensive work of trying to fight for Nintendo and Sony's users, right? So you have one side of the industry where still very lucrative but very mature, and a lot of people are set where they are, and then you have another side of it on a platform that they happen to own. I know they don't own the store or the launcher, but the platform itself, Windows, they own that. And PC gaming has much higher growth potential for them than console does. So what they're doing is riding that wave and putting all the liability on the hardware side off to their partners. And in that space, those OEM partners are going to try to make the money where they can. And Microsoft is going to try to just control the software stack and be a platform player versus a hardware player. So again, I think you and I just said the same thing. It's just from the perspective that you're looking at. If you're looking at it from the console space only, then you're absolutely correct. But if you kind of do the 30,000 foot view, I think you can explain the same thing with different motivations and outcomes.
No notes from me, sir. I completely agree. Yeah. By the way, BT Maverick, for some reason, the comment you're trying to post, I don't see it. I only see you commenting about the comment, not the comment itself. So please, either in the Twitter DM or somewhere, you can reach out to me and post that comment, and I will make sure I read it out.
Yeah, or
you try to put
drop it in Discord. We'll see it right
away.
Yeah,
drop it somewhere, and we will definitely read it. For some reason, I'm not able to see the comment itself. YouTube sometimes does weird stuff. It is what it is. Anyway, again, this whole conversation about handhelds will continue for a minute, so we're gonna keep talking about it. But let's say for just let's put it in the backlog for a quick minute. Oh yeah, he did. All right. So let me quickly read this. He says, Brokeback Charlie and Kay. Oh my God. I highly recommend you check out let's see, Alabaster Dawn demo on Steam. Cool isometric pixel Zelda like to throw on your ever-growing backlog. I completely agree. Alabaster Dawn. And by the way, shout out to Infinite Umbra. He recommended that I check that out, and I downloaded it and installed it. I don't know, everyone, have you heard that? Alabaster Dawn?
I saw when Umbra brought it up, and this is absolutely up my alley, but I don't play demos, and it is wish listed, and I will very much buy this on day one, just from what I've seen from the,
Yeah. So and I appreciate you for bringing this up, because like we said, the great Infinite Umbra also brought it to our attention, and when he did, I did download it real quick. And it's freaking awesome. It's really, really cool. I love the pixel art. It's this beat 'em up style that I enjoy. Usually when they do stuff like this, it ends up being like turn-based, but this is definitely not that. No, it's really, really cool.
Absolutely fantastic.
It's really cool. Yes.
Releases. This is a day one for me, but I will let you guys enjoy the demo.
Absolutely. Yeah. And yes, Music 72. That is the right takeaway from this. Everborn Saga, aka Brokeback Charlie.
Okay, first of all, we're gonna stop with the Brokeback Charlie stuff. So what happened was one of the kids changed my name on the quest, the username from Everborn Saga to Big Back Charlie, and now you guys are going with Brokeback Charlie. And
BBC.
It happened like live on air, so I said it, and then I changed it back to Everborn Saga, and now you guys are going with the Brokeback thing. I'm gonna need you guys to all calm down and relax. I don't know what's on you guys' minds, but that's
it is
that's
what it is. Had to do it. My bad. All right. Mr. Everborn Saga, Umbra is here with a $5 super chat. He says, "Morning, fellas. Moving to a high-end Asus laptop next year instead of a handheld. What is the best between Intel and AMD CPUs in your opinions?" Ooh, that's an interesting one. I may have to update you.
Take this one. I can't. I'm not equipped to answer.
Yeah,
that
I will have to update you on that one.
Yeah, and
I have to update you on that one.
I don't think there's any universe where I would be in the market for like a gaming laptop, just because of whatever. But so I can't give an opinion on that because that's like in a different planet for me. Understood.
The reason why I can't give you like the definitive right now is that my information is historically inaccurate right now, because for a while, and I even currently have an AMD based laptop, they tend to run hot, right? So depending on the type of machine you get, it depends on what you're getting. But I see Reza in here talking about it as well. I am in the market for a Strix Halo device, which is the AMD 395. Like, it's not cheap, but boy oh boy, that thing is something else. So that might be something that we'd be looking at, you know. So
shout out to VG Fight School who dropped a comment via X. That's the first time I saw an X comment in here.
Yeah.
Someone tell Umbra not to touch a gaming laptop if it's not an Acer Predator. By the way, this is a small thing. This is just to report. What are we doing? Well, we'll fix this in a second. And wait a minute.
You're making for great air right now. This is beautiful TV.
No, you go ahead. I'll figure this out. I'm trying to get the camera going.
Oh, you're trying to get the camera going. Okay. Well, so beyond the handheld talk, there is a bit more. Oh, there he is. There he is.
We talked about this last week, right?
We did. He visited the altar of the rotten apple, and he has come back with another icon, another device he can worship for a year.
I went with the Pro until the folding one comes out.
Until he can worship at another side, another altar. There you go. There's the man. Let's see it. Let's maximize this thing.
The missus ended up getting the Air, which I was looking at, but she shamed me into getting the Pro. I was looking at the Air, and she's like, "What are you, a woman?" And I was like, "Oh snap! All right, I gotta get the."
Music 27 says, "No wonder he's broke back, Charlie." Woo, doggy.
Yeah, exactly. Broke wallet. I got the new AirPod Pro 3s.
Yeah. We need to hear a review on that, sir.
Yes, this is the real thing I want to talk about. The phone's just a phone, whatever, right? I haven't even gotten a chance to put the camera through its paces yet. By the way, this is the first time that I went with a case on day one. I'm normally a no case guy, but phone's a little bit slick.
And you didn't go the orange with the green case? Like,
no, it's too loud. It was too loud.
Master Chief is disappointed in you, sir. Continue. Go ahead.
Right. So I tried the live translation. Now, the first thing I should note is I don't know if it's going to help you much, because right now it currently
the languages are limited, right?
Languages, right? Yeah. It's Spanish, German, French, and for some reason UK English, right?
Because you need a translator for UK English? That's some weird stuff right there.
I have no idea. But that being said, there's some use cases that when more languages are onboarded, that shout out to Yuzu from the Discord community. He brought up the idea with these headphones. You could actually watch anime and have it be auto dubbed for you, right? So I tested this scenario by playing something on Netflix and switching the language to Spanish, and then had English subtitles, and it did a pretty good job of just hearing what's coming from the TV and translating it in real time. So you can imagine once they have Mandarin, once they have Japanese and things like that, you could watch some of these shows and just have it be translated in real time, even if they don't have a dub available, right? Now you won't get the acting performance, obviously, but when are dubbed acting performances ever good? Rarely, I'd say. So
yeah.
The other piece of it is this was a question: does it do ambiance translation? And the answer is mostly, right? I tried it in a parking lot. My lady Everborn, my wife, and her cousin we went to a movie to see The Conjuring, which I think the new one's probably the worst in the Conjuring series, but we can have that discussion later. But they were just talking about stuff and like supernatural experiences they think they had. And I was able to pick up when I told them what I heard them saying. They were like, that's like 80% of what we were saying. And they're standing around me, not right in front of me, because that was a thing. I thought you had to be talking to someone right, like it, because it's directional audio, right? Directional mics, that they had to be right in front of you, but that's not the case. And then even in the car where the missus is riding shotgun and the other person is in the back seat, I'm picking up that conversation, most of it. So it's not going to be like, you're not going to catch every word, but it'll be enough to get the gist of what they're saying. I don't know if it's at a place
no one can swear.
yet.
No one can swear at you anymore without you catching.
Here is the other funny thing: it translates the curses.
Nice, very nice. Okay, but you did tell me why I won't be buying this.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna have the language user unless you're hurting.
No. That's not why.
Oh, right. Okay.
I won't be buying this because
let me say it. I think I know.
Yes.
So this is a good thing, but that good thing is also why you won't be buying it. So it all happens on device. That's how it's able to happen so fast. So you actually have to download the language packs for whatever you're going to translate. And so that means you're not going to be able to use this feature if you want to pair these headphones with an Android device
or an older iPhone, right? You have to have a newer iPhone
with the AI chip in
that has AI chip in it, so that can then be
15 Pro or higher, because the 15 Pro is where they added the NPUs.
Yeah, so this once again becomes a play to grow their ecosystem rather than to sell a great righteous product, and as such, you lost me. But okay, hopefully eventually it becomes ubiquitous and all of that. But yes, you know, there are too many Apple ties that bind to make me buy that.
I also like the way it's initiated. So it allegedly is. I've only tried it with Spanish, but it's because I don't know anybody. Like, I know people in Germany, but I don't know any people in the States that speak German. But just with the Spanish language, it'll pick up. It doesn't ask you what language this is. It'll hear them talking, and then it'll switch. Okay. Right. And the way you do it, like right now, if I want to switch to like pass-through mode or noise canceling mode, you hold one of the earpieces and it activates. It activates translation by holding both of them. You hold it down for 1 second and it'll start auto translating. So you don't have to talk to it. You don't have to do any weird hand gestures or head nods or anything like that. Just
cool. You know. Hey, I wait until it becomes a function of just headphones rather than headphones that are connected to your
I think device. You'll be waiting a while, at least to be in those kind of things. But I'm sure there's a million solutions to this already. I'm not sure I know, but the question is,
I have a few solutions myself already to the problem. It's not that seamless yet.
Yeah, and I think this is as seamless as switching to pass through and noise canceling mode. So
not bad.
I think that's
not
pretty.
Bad. It's getting there. Yep. Pioneer with a $10 super chat says, just wanted to say Microsoft/Xbox don't have the ability to release their biggest franchise, Forza Horizon 6, day one on PlayStation.
Look at this.
Ooh. So with that,
Microsoft, the people who didn't have no games worth playing, now we want to know why they don't got the games everywhere.
let's talk. Let's go there real quick. Let's talk.
So
Do you want to do the TGS stuff, or do you want to do the state of play stuff?
Well, I think state of play happened first. So
yes,
just chronologically,
yes. And by the way, a little inside baseball, everyone. Remember last week you were like, they're not gonna limit us. They want us to sell their way. Yeah, they definitely limited us. Yeah, they definitely.
What are we talking about?
Remember when we showed some footage on the screen and we were like, hopefully they're not gonna come for us because we're selling their wares. Yeah, they totally came for us. They limited that episode.
Oh,
so last week's episode is limited. I'm telling you, bro.
No audio.
No audio. They came for us. It's not to say that they blocked us, but because we showed anything of their wares now, it can't be monetized. It's a limited thing. It is what it is, which I don't care about because we're not doing this for any monetization thing. But as soon as I said they would do it, they definitely did that. They did that. They came for us. But anyway,
Nintendo
to let them they striking, bro. They strike. They are not to be messed around with. But all right. Before we head to the conversations for real, let's take a stop at Nintendo, talking about them ninjas. It seems like Doug has retired in favor of Peach.
So I'm just waiting to find out that Devin's middle name is Peach. And if it's Peach, not, right? She should have it legally changed.
It should be absolutely. So Doug Bowser, president of head of Nintendo America, has retired and given way to Devin Pritchard, the new head of Nintendo of America. Now, as I think we know it, right? The scenario is a little different than other heads, right? Like their role. Nintendo's heads of America tend to be more marketers than anything else. They don't have as much of an ability as say PlayStation's heads and Microsoft's heads, right? They do different kind of a scenario. Do you think it's notable or surprising that Doug didn't stay as long as say Reggie did?
I want to ask about this, right? Because so what are the odds? I am not making this assumption. I'm not doing that at all. Mm-hmm. But what are the odds that this was a Jim Ryan situation?
It's an interesting one. It is an interesting question.
So what that means is he retiring or is he being?
Well, was he retired? Yes.
Right.
Yes. Keep going. I'm listening. Go ahead.
And so one thing when we talk about Reggie Fils-Aimé, a lot of people don't understand this, how the Nintendo org chart works and how the Nintendo of America president and CEO, they don't have the kind of power that say like a Phil Spencer would have at Xbox, right? A lot of that is controlled by the Japanese side of the house, right? And the reason Reggie Fils-Aimé was so effective in his role was that he worked in very close partnership with Iwata, who passed away, right? But Iwata was the one that Reggie would talk to first, and then Iwata would go and convince the Japanese side of the house that, okay, what Reggie's talking about, it makes sense, right? So they would collaborate together, and then Iwata would have to sell it to the other side of the house, right? With Iwata gone, I don't know who that is or was for Doug Bowser, right? And I think Doug Bowser came from the firm that I know that he came from the same firm as Reggie Fils-Aimé. So I don't know. Maybe it was Procter and Gamble, but it could have been one of the other consulting firms. But he came from there. I don't know how. I understand his last name's Bowser. I don't know how much he was into and understanding the gaming side of the house. But I will say from him, I had always gotten the Tim Cook vibes. Meaning we have beloved products and I am a money guy and I know how to make money. I know how to extract.
What are the chances
from
though?
Our audience.
What are the chances though? This mysterious company who you really can't they tend to not share too many details of their inner workings, right? They're very a mysterious company. Like, what are the chances that they have a CEO that's also the name of their main antagonist? Bowser must have helped. Come on. Come on. That's weird.
That's a pure coincidence. I don't think that has
pure coincidence. Okay.
Yeah. But I haven't really noticed under his what seems like a short tenure, but Reggie retired a while ago.
It seems like it's shorter than it should have been. You know what I mean? Like, right. It seems like he should have been here a while.
I see, like, under his tenure, yes, making a boatload of money, but under his tenure, like in a long while, we're seeing like Nintendo almost play it safe, right? They got a good thing going. They don't want to mess with it. They don't want to mess with the name, right? They went from Switch to Switch 2. The form factor it changed, but it's not, there's no gimmick in the hardware this time around. They're increasing the prices on things wherever they can. They're introducing services. So it is just like, it feels like he's a money guy. I don't know that vision was necessarily there.
To be fair, real quick, because I know Lucius has pointed it out before, and he is correct in this. If you look at Nintendo's history, you will see that even during Bowser's tenure, they kind of followed along their standard lineage. They didn't do anything unusual. They do evolution, revolution, and this still follows that same line. Right? I
can understand that, because but usually there's some gimmick that they go with, and users didn't get that at the time. But I get what you're saying. NES, SNES, right?
The Joy-Cons are a mouse. That's a gimmick. I'm just saying.
Cut it out. But the
controllers don't have any the controllers don't have any analog switches. It's a bug, it's a feature, not a bug.
I do appreciate that, and I also think that Nintendo was not as litigious under Fils-Aimé, right? And it's that all of this crazy stuff you're hearing about with Nintendo and their lawsuits, that's under Reggie. But again, we can't really say that he don't have control and it's the Japanese side of the house, and then say it's under his tenure. So I don't want to say he's not in control and then say he's responsible for this stuff. I just didn't. It feels like he's retiring soon, but again, you just had that amazing launch. Obviously, he's probably not hurting for money, so why not get out of Dodge while the getting is good? Leave the problem to somebody else.
I don't disagree. It's just notable that he left seemingly earlier than expected.
Yeah, I think he's just, because he's, and this is going to be interesting, right? It used to be where like these gaming CEOs address the players a lot, and address the public. Like everybody knows Sean Layden. I know he's not more talkative now that he doesn't have the corporate.
So I don't know if it's just me, but Everborn, your mic is muted all of a sudden. It's like not muted, but it doesn't sound clear anymore. Like as if you're muffled. Oh,
how about now?
Much better now.
Yeah. So again,
Mm-hmm.
I never really saw him as speaking to the audience.
You saw him as a Jim Ryan type.
But the thing is, we're moving out of that, and the only reason Phil still does it because Phil is the only one left that is from the time where people used to address the audience like that, right? And so I can't,
last of the Mohegans, if you will.
fault like the other guys for that. So I don't know. I just wonder if they wanted new blood, or he just decided his time was up. That's really my question.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong there. One other thing I want to talk about.
The last thing, and I know what people are going to say. Well, they're not saying he was fired. When do you know of a CEO at that level that is let go and they just say, yeah, we fired him? So whether he was asked to leave or he left of his own, the press release would be the same. I love this journey. I'm moving on to do things, unless it was something crazy.
Gonna take care of my family, spend more time
That's
with the
how these
family.
things go. It's professional.
Yeah.
You separate amicably, and it is what it is.
Yep.
So I don't know what it is. Maybe a book will have to come out later, which I'll get. Reggie's book is great. Highly recommend it.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
So before we get into because I think we'll end the show with the two showcases that happened. We'll get into that. But this is super interesting. I feel like maybe not enough people are talking about it because it's kind of heady and business wise. But the ramifications of this, I feel, are going to be like massive. What am I talking about? I'm talking about EA thinking about going private in a $50 billion deal. Have you heard about this, Everborn Saga?
I have heard about it. I haven't read up on it. There's one little small piece of news before we get into this. This is really quick. I just think this is ironic. You know that lawsuit that Sony has going on with Tencent?
Yes.
Sony is now seeking a preliminary injunction against Tencent from them releasing their Horizon.
Their Horizon clone.
And guess who the judge is?
Corley.
Judge Jacqueline Corley.
Yes, it is.
Same judge that denied the FTC their preliminary injunction.
She's making a name for herself on the video game litigation. Interesting.
It is very. I didn't care about that case at all, but now I'm just like interested for the novelty of it. But sorry, back to the EA thing. I think it is. It's very. So here's the thing, right? My only question is, does this mean EA's games get better or worse? If they're no longer beholden to shareholders in that way, obviously there's always shareholders that you're beholden to. It's just whether those are private equity shareholders or publicly traded. But the point is, you know how we don't have to hear Valve's numbers, but we know they're doing well and they get to kind of do the thing that they want. And remember, Best Buy went private, and guess what? Best Buy going private meant they became the only one of the big box stores that are still around. Remember Circuit City? I bet you don't. If you do, your kids don't, right? Remember Radio Shack, right? You remember the Wiz? They're all gone, right? The one.
To be fair, the reason why they're all gone is because they were all competing with Amazon, and they were not going to be able to compete.
Think Best Buy's not competing with Amazon?
True, but this is Best Buy. What Best Buy did was they basically human shielded themselves while others were getting murdered, and that's why they're still around.
Well, Best Buy's claim to fame was that they rented out floor space to other people. So, like, if you're Apple and you're Microsoft, you're actually paying
you have your own floor space for it,
and you're renting real estate. But anyway, the point is, I think Best Buy is still around because they went private, right? Because what happens is
they saw the writing on the wall.
Yes, and here's the thing: how these things end up going away is what I like to call the Mitt Romney special. Is what happened to Toys R Us. Because you're publicly traded, anybody can come in and go and buy your shares and get some controlling stake, and then get seats on the board, which drives the company to do things that aren't really best for the company, but best for the people trying to make the short-term money and break these things up for parts. We've seen this happen over and over and over again, and you're insulated.
To be clear, the reason why he's calling it the Mitt Romney special is because that's what Mitt Romney and his companies were into before he became a politician.
That's what they did to Toys R Us. So if you have fond memories of going to Toys R Us and you wanted to share that with your kids and you can't now, blame Mitt Romney. But anyway,
stop that. Continue.
I'm not even joking. The point
I know you're not joking. That's why I said stop it. Continue, sir.
The point though is private equity does do the same thing, but it's different. It's harder to get a hold of those shares if people are not ready, right? So you know, this could be a thing where these private money people have the plan to break it up, right?
Yeah.
And you know, sell it for parts. But again, I don't know any real like EA fans, right? So like, what?
No. There are lots of EA fans, at least fair weather EA fans. I would say if you're a graybeard of any stripe, you remember what EA used to be, just like you remember what Ubisoft used to be. And this potentially has the potential of getting them back to the place where creativity was the priority versus shareholder requirements.
I think it could go either way, right? It could. It
Absolutely,
depends on,
absolutely, it could. Yes.
Where private money's coming from and what the goals.
Yes.
Are of the people with that private money. If it is just to extract as much value as possible, I don't know why go through a whole taking the company private thing to do that.
So you say you don't know any EA fans. If you tell me there's a Titanfall coming back, I'm an EA fan, like a proper EA fan.
I think you're a Titanfall fan and not an EA fan, but sure, we can agree to disagree.
And there are other EA IPs that I would say I'm a fan of. The reason why I thought this is a huge news is a lot of the IPs we see right now that are continuing to get the love are IPs that are lucrative and that are being pimped as the way forward. When you no longer are beholden to those same shareholders, is there a chance that we get another Mass Effect or something? Right? Just that's just what I'm bringing to it. Right.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm not like, this doesn't in and of itself in a vacuum mean it is going to be a bad thing. It could be a good thing, and we could
but it doesn't automatically mean it's going to be a good thing, though. I do agree with you on that.
Yeah, right. So I just need to see more, and we're only going to notice if we see their actions changing and they're like, all right, we're going to do what we think is right, and hopefully that takes us to where we need to go. But again, this is $50 billion they're putting together. Nobody's and I know it's coming from different places, but you're not raising $50 billion without certain expectations.
Yep.
And and that expectation to me feels like we just we're trying to make more money than this $50 billion that we're putting in.
So I think we can end this discussion with the idea with what you just said, which is we're gonna have to wait and see what their behavior is if this becomes the case. That will, like, I mean, we've been, those who've watched the show long enough know that hindsight is 2020 on the Activision Blizzard situation, right? We see their moves now in hindsight. We'll have to see what this move equals in when it ultimately gets there. We can't definitively say it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think it's a different thing. And to me right now, blowing up and changing up the industry is useful, because I feel like the industry is going in a very in a direction where they're trying to monetize consumers more and more, and anything that changes the equation has the potential of changing the equation for good. So I think that's a potential good thing. In that same conversation, in that same line, though, I bring this also to the forefront, which is NVIDIA is now in talks. Well, not in talks. They've come to an agreement where they will work with Intel rather, to produce SoCs with them. So Intel produces the chips, the processors. NVIDIA produces the GPUs. Now, and this is an SoC play, so almost handheld play. What do you think of this? This is another thing that tends to potentially blows up the industry.
So this is just news to me now.
Yes, it is.
So here's the thing, right? NVIDIA acquires a $5 billion stake in Intel, but so did the U.S. government, right?
Well, no, but the news here is not the stake that they.
I understand. The stake is what is facilitating this, right? I get it.
But they specifically came out and said that they are now going to be working with them, whereas Intel makes x86 chips. They make the process. They make the GPUs for them.
And I understand that. What I am saying is, we need to see how this plays out, because I am not sure that this saves Intel. And they can have, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, as they say, right?
True.
Yes. We need to see how seriously even though like NVIDIA is doing this, $5 billion is nothing to them. How seriously is NVIDIA going to take this space, even with the pairing of Intel? right? Because for NVIDIA, this is still like a rounding area.
Yes.
And for
this
Intel,
this is couch cushion money for them.
So I need to know that NVIDIA is properly invested, as opposed to this is just a hedge in a certain direction that they're
sure. But you know why I'm talking about this? This is totally self-serving on my part, because this is the competition we've needed. Damn it!
It is not. What I'm saying is not competition until we have tangible things that are. What do you call it? What was more competition was that ARC GPU. That is in the MSI claw.
In the MSI claw, which they're never going to seem to make any more. Yes, true.
To me, like we might be losing some competition here, because if we get in this deal just for NVIDIA to drag their feet in the space that they're currently doing, I don't know. And I don't know if $5 billion is enough to get NVIDIA out of bed to do what they need to do to properly compete here.
To the point that you're making, right? This deal almost, and again, this is all speculation town, but this deal almost solidifies the fact that what do you call it? XeSS 2.0 is not long for this world, right? NVIDIA comes in with DLSS. That is the big dog in the room. XeSS, I would argue, is really damn good in handheld. The MSI Claw has one, and that's why I use it all the time. But if this deal is what it is, they will backburner their own tech in favor of NVIDIA's tech in the GPU space. But so that will
opposite, right? And this is why you can't really trust just because Intel says this is going to be great. Like Intel is telling us right now, and they want us to believe this with a straight face, that this does not hinder what they're doing with ARC. This is an ancillary thing.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
Frankly, I don't care whether well, but listen. I don't care whether or not this means the end of ARC or not, as long as it gives me ultimately what I want, which is competitive pricing and competition in this space in AMD, which again, we don't know that this will equal that. This is notable, but we don't know that this will equal the competition we want. But the reason why I think it is notable, though, is today, the reason why AMD is where they are is because in consoles, they are the only ones you go to. If you're Microsoft or your PlayStation, you're going to AMD, not because they're the best, but because they're the cheapest to give you a good deal, right? Intel has not been a competitor in this space. Even with their GPU wanting to compete, until the ARC showed up, they weren't competitive at all. And by the time the ARC showed up, people were already sick and tired of them, right? So this potentially gives Intel a second chance to come to the market with a competitive product. Now, where the rubber will meet the road is, how will NVIDIA allow them to position themselves from a price to performance competitive?
That's going to be another thing. So
that to me is all of it. That's the ball game. If they are price competitive, it will be something else. But they have to be in order for it to be something.
To me, this is just like the EA news. It is very interesting.
Yes, but we don't know what it'll mean yet. Yes. So this is why I tagged them together. This could potentially both be two blow-ups of our industry. But right now, it's just kind of a side eye, like, I wonder what this will do.
I need tangibles. So let's see what that first thing comes out. Let's see how well it does. Let's see if it puts AMD on notice in the APU space.
This is the point.
That would be a net positive.
Yep, absolutely.
Because I think that the Strix Point chipsets right now, they're only so high as a result of the virtual monopoly that AMD has in the APU space.
And they're also not priced to performance. The ratio is way off. Like if you own a 7840U or an 8840U, this is not a worthy upgrade for you, even now. And those chipsets were available many years ago. They are not increasing at the clip they should be, but they are commanding a higher price point just by the nature of them being the only ones in this industry. This is why we need competition, right? So hopefully that's where we're going. But yes, that's where we are right now. All right, let's spend the last bit of this show talk about some games, because I think that's where we should go before we end this.
Over.
Yes, 2 showcases back to back. The first one, as you said, was the PlayStation State of Play. We'll leave the big dog towards the end. because he is indeed the big dog. We'll talk about that. But Soros, sir, what did you think of Soros? Are you a person who enjoyed Returnal? And if so, what do you think of Soros?
So Returnal it's a very for me, it's a very complex story because it is one of my favorite new games of this generation, and it is also something that I am terrible at, right?
Okay.
And it, because of the way they implemented the roguelite nature of it, it made me waste a lot of my time. I have a lot of hours in this game and just didn't make like meaningful progress, right? And because it was all dependent on whether you had a good run versus how good you actually were.
Yeah. And the weird thing about it is usually games like that are about good runs, the runs are very short. So you can have a good run or a bad run and then jump right back in. This game, you could have a 5-hour bad run and then start all over again, which is
and I
god awful.
Do that 3 or 4 times, and you just say, "All right, you're waiting."
Yes, and that's Returnal. That was Returnal. Yes.
Yeah. And so but this seems to be addressing those progression issues. And the progression was really the only problem I had with Returnal. Other than that, I love the game. I love the setting. I love the 3D bullet hell. I love all of it. But if you fix, I still wish they did I know they did some patches, but it wasn't like really to fix those progression issues. So, Returnal was the only game I ever considered using Wii model. Because it got
See, and honestly, I don't think the progression issues are necessarily a bug of the game. I think it might be the way they designed it. It's just bad game design. You can't make a run-based game so long where one run could be hours. If it's going to be run for run, it has to be short spurts. And this game does not give you that. It gives you Returnal rather gives you long, proper, like exploration heavy gameplay, right? And then you could potentially have a bad run many hours in. It is what it is.
And
I loved that game. I beat the game already. It took me to playing it on PC to really like connect with it. I played it on PlayStation and I just didn't connect with it because at the time there was a bug that was like killing saves and stuff. So I dropped it. But now I beat it on PC and I thought it was really great. So for me, Soros looks like more of the same. Actually, it looks like they've elevated the combat system even more. I think this looks amazing. And shout out to what Raul is his name, the gentleman who's playing the protagonist.
No, I'm very excited. I'm actually more excited about this than the show finisher, believe it or not.
Oh wow! Okay, we'll get into that. Wow, that's surprising.
Like I really just because it didn't work. Just because the progression didn't work for me, I cannot express how much I enjoyed Returnal.
So T-Gan is asking, why don't they just call it Returnal 2? Because Returnal I feel like
only sold 2 million copies.
Yeah, it would turn people off if you call it Returnal 2 because you usually use an IP because it helps you sell things. Now it looks like using that IP would hurt it, which is unfortunate.
And again, there's people that were turned off of the game because of the way the loop worked. And so if you tell them,
look what you just did here. If you just saw what they did there, they're literally speaking to you with that Everborn, like that description that you just had. Like you notice that he's playing the during the first. Obviously, we're watching a little bit of footage of them showing the game. Like they're speaking to the fact that when you're having a run, if you fall, you literally can restart your run or continue your run rather, right where you are rather than starting from scratch. I think that piece they showed just now was to address those who had that concern. I think so.
Yeah. And again, shorter runs and like the other thing is, and it's the same, what do you call it problem? Like rage bound problem.
Yeah.
When I get to a boss, you got to let me keep whatever I did and let me keep starting back with that boss. You have to. I'm sorry. Especially if these bosses are going to be really challenging and then you got to learn the boss and die a few times when you first meet them. But like if I got to die and then dying means I got to go do all of that level stuff again and hope I get a good run. To me, that's the kind I can't get down with that.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna wait for reviews for this because I need to make sure that's fixed because I'm just not gonna buy it if it's still if they're doing the nonsense. All right, but anyway,
I mean, I will quickly say, and then we'll move on. Like, my only problem with Returnal was the obtuseness of how they doled out the story. It was very, what are we doing here for a while? This looks like it's straightforward storytelling and the combat's elevated. I am more excited for this than I was excited for Returnal. I think this is great.
The mystery of how they unveil that story.
I did not like the mystery of it because the rinse repeat eventually got old until I got past that point. This doesn't look like it has that. It looks like it's still in the same world. It looks like they're actually wanting to tell you a straightforward story, even though it still has all the bullet hellness of it, which I was down with. So I'm excited for this. So there's that. Then there's Flight Sim 2024 coming to PS5. Do you care?
I care about Flight Sim 2024 on PlayStation just about as much as I cared about it on Xbox, which is to say,
says you don't. I expected as much. And I know I saw BV in the chat a few minutes ago. He cares. Shout out to BV.
I will say, when we heard about the multi-plat thing, I'm on record saying it should have been games like Flight Sim and Sea of Thieves because you know the kind of games those were not at the same.
We're worthy of that. Yeah.
Not when it's worthy is different because these are like big games, big huge IPs. Like Microsoft is really one of the few people even doing a game like that, if you can call it a simulation, in the first place. So this is not to say worthy of anything. I think it's so worthy that it should be everywhere. But like I would have said Flight Sim before like a Gears Reloaded.
Sure. You know? Yeah.
There's a different, people have a connection with that game as opposed to an association with that game and their history with Xbox.
Yeah, Flight Sim has been something that has been beyond one platform or ecosystem for its entire life cycle. And for those who don't know, Flight Sim has been around since the 70s, right? And for a long time, it lived and died on PC because that's the only place that you could actually play it. Until the Series S, that was like eyes wide open situation. No one could ever like facilitate being able to play that grand thing on anything less than a big monster rig, right? So since Flight Sim came to consoles, this is a huge thing for that Flight Sim community. I know people who are like Flight Sim families who themselves become pilots because of Flight Simulator. This is a big deal for lots of people, you know. But yes, to your point, it's not one of those things that's like, well, this moves our console or our ecosystem. It should be wherever the game is possible.
I fully support and did before whatever. I always supported Flight Sim being one of those I'm not saying Minecraft, but one of those kind of IPs that's everywhere.
Yes, absolutely. What do you think of Battlefield 6? I know a lot of people in our Discord have been crazy about Flight Sim, about Battlefield since the beginning. They didn't have me until they showed this campaign footage. Now I'm like, all right, I'm here.
We were looking at a Call of Duty campaign, but I don't really play Call of Duty like that. So it looks
campaigns, cool. It looks good. It looks good. We'll move on swiftly because I will most likely play that campaign and nothing else. And I know that the Battlefield people are gonna come for me because Battlefield is about the multiplayer, not the campaign.
Well, that's what they try to tell us with the last one, and then they just charge $70 out there. What you call it?
What do you think of this, sir? This is a remaster of Deus Ex.
It's like a mobile.
It's not but that's the thing. It's not a reskin. It's literally doing what the emulators do, which is just fixing anti-aliasing. Look at his face. Just look at his face. They just did the same thing, right? They cleaned up the anti-aliasing, but it's the same face. It's not a reskin. Look.
I mean, sure, but like we're still talking about like PS2 textures, right? Like
yes, that's what I'm saying. They basically anti-aliased and upscaled the first skin. Yeah. I am wrong though. If you look closely, you'll see that some of the like, for example, this scientist that's here, before the reskin, he had no creases in his clothes, and now he does. See, they did do a little bit of something. He had no beard, but now he does. Look at that. He had no beard, and now he does. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. I don't care. Neither do you.
Yeah, I wonder who this is for. Is this for the 007 crowd, right? Is this Killmonger's haircut for PlayStation? Did they see the 007 remaster thing come out for PlayStation, for Xbox, and they went, oh, okay, and then they did this? Could that be why this happened? I wonder who this is for. Who is this for?
It's the most strange analogy I could think of for what you're trying to describe.
But you know what I'm saying. That's right.
Not really. But I will say that I don't care. But again, it's a retro thing. You want to bring it back for people to get. That should be pennies on the dollar, though. I don't want to hear no $20.
It should be in their service day one. We shall see if it is. Who knows?
Yeah.
Do you care about the Halloween game coming out? I didn't think so. How about zero parades for dead spies? So this
Disco Elysium people, right?
This is from the Disco Elysium people.
No, not the people. The name.
Well, the name. Yes. What do you think of this? Like, they had me with the art style, because I loved Disco Elysium, and believe it or not, it's like a perfect handheld game. I played the heck out of it on the handheld. Does this do anything for you? I feel like this is for the Disco Elysium people.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Here's the thing: I've never actually played Disco Elysium. It is on my list.
Oh, you definitely should.
I own the game. It's one of those things that I bought, put down, and never got to.
Like, Disco Elysium was made for Steam Deck OLED. I feel it's so beautiful on that thing.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I like. So I don't have the nostalgia that some of you guys have for Disco Elysium. So this doesn't, I guess
it doesn't do much for you. Okay. See, that is the question I had, right? Like this lives and dies based off of the fans of Disco Elysium. How much of a splash did that make?
It's a whole different team.
Well, yeah, but you know dang well they are treading on that art style, right? They're treading on that art style. You see this, you think of Disco Elysium. You just do, right? Yeah, we shall see. Neo 3, do you care?
Let me see the video of this one. I might.
If you don't know Neo, you should know Neo 1 and 2. If you don't know 1 and 2, then 3 doesn't concern you. It's more of the same.
Okay.
Yeah. The first one was I forget the name of the protagonist, but it was oh Lord, I forget his name. People in the chat, please remind me of the name of the protagonist of the first Neo. But yes, it reminded a lot of people of The Last Samurai, the Tom Cruise joint when it first came out, because it kind of had similar vibes. But yes, this is the third in the entry.
Okay.
Yes.
Like come with the best. I mean, yeah, I suppose.
So there you go. So once again, this is not doing it for you. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to get a barometer of where you fall.
Let's just say the show started off really strong.
Okay. All right. Well, you say it started off really strong, but so far what has spoken to you? Soros, which was like, all right. Soros was all right, right? Soros was all right. Okay. Code Vein 2. Do you care?
I think I do care about Code Vein if it's the game that I think it is.
See, and Lucius is saying you don't care because it's not a Metroidvania. So there's that.
Sir, I'm also a hack and slash guy. So
sword and board hack and slash Metroidvania. That's it.
Exactly.
All right. So let's be clear. Do you care?
I think I do care about this.
Okay. All
I
right.
think yeah, but let's skip through it. I want to see what the because I remember seeing some of the combat of this and it looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I'm on board with this one. So
Yep.
we got yeah.
Okay. You're on board with this one. But have
Yeah.
you played Code Vein 1?
Absolutely not.
Maybe it's time to get that on board if you're thinking that Code Vein 2 might be something for you. Just a thought.
No, I don't think I will. I think I'll start with Code Vein 2 and figure it out as I go.
I don't know why. But as soon as you said that, you remind me of old Captain America going, "No, I don't think I will."
That was the reference.
Okay. Yes, William Adams. Yes, Neo 1 had William Adams. You know
By the way,
yes.
I am considering.
Mm-hmm.
I'm considering going straight to Silk Song and skipping Hollow Knight.
Why?
Time.
It is a different game though. Crimson Desert. What do you think?
Crimson Desert looks fantastic. I was on board with this from day one. It looks like
March 19th, 2026.
I want to, if they can hit the date, we'll see, because they were supposed to come out this year. But I want to quote
Yes,
when he says Crimson Desert looks like everything Dragon's Dogma was supposed to be.
That is something. This was interesting to me. Let It Die Inferno. Do you remember the first Let It Die?
No.
This was a free-to-play game that came out during the PS3 gen, I think, or PS4 gen. Early on in the gen, it came out. And to my eye, it did nothing. It came out, I played it for a little bit. I thought it was weird. It did nothing really for me. I was like, okay. And now it looks like part 2 is coming out, and Let It Die Inferno is even on Steam. Even the first one came out on Steam, I guess, ultimately. But I didn't think it was that big of a thing, and it warranted a secondary entry, but clearly it does, and it came out free to play again. Pretty cool. It really didn't speak to me, but I like it when games like this, which I think are quote unquote one-hit wonders, tend to not be and have another instance in it, which means some people liked it. Pretty cool. I may not be the one playing it, but it looks like it's very much Unreal Engine 4/5 graphics, but it looks cool. People seem to have liked it enough to warrant another one. So there's that. I won't even ask you if you're going to play it because you're probably not. It's fine. How about this one? This spoke like Chronos almost, Chrono Trigger energy a little bit. What do you think? Oh, did I lose you, Mr. Everborn Saga?
No, I'm here.
Did this speak to you, sir?
This did speak to me.
Love the art style.
I'm getting the Metroidvania. I don't know if I like the art style actually.
I do love the art style. I think it's unique and unusual. It's very busy, very busy.
Yeah, I think it's too busy, but like I would absolutely give this a shot. This is right up my alley. Now, the way they pulled the camera back to show the world map and how you move,
all the books,
like, that part's interesting, but I feel like it's hard to see like what's going on, and it almost feels like it's this is
the what's the name of the Plucky Squire style, but like writ large, a bit bigger, a bit more scope, Yeah. So there's that. It does look interesting. I'll keep a pin on that one. The Seven Deadly Sins. I need
to understand what kind of game this is because it looks very good.
Well, right? It says it's a free-to-play open world RPG. Right, free to play open world RPG.
What I'm getting is Genshin vibes. But if you're into the Seven Deadly Sins lore, so having these characters in an action RPG, cell shaded like this, and it looks like it has all the production value, like very excited. But if like, and again, I'm fine if you have like you got your end game stuff, but you give me like a 30-hour campaign to get onboarded, because then I can just get off board as soon as it turns to the gotcha stuff. So if that's the case, I'll be interested. But I really feel like I haven't seen enough unedited footage of this game to know.
It looks interesting to me. I just worry about the free to play stuff, right? I want to pay for something, and it looks like attention was paid to this. It looks like Breath of the Wild influences are here. You can see a lot of that stuff here. But if you're giving this to me for free, then how are you making your money? Which means I won't like how you're trying to make money from me. Let me pay you.
Yeah.
It seems like they won't let me pay them, and that worries me.
Oh, you're gonna pay him.
This is the point. Right? I want to pay you properly, you know.
But I am gonna be looking at this at launch to see how long the onboarding is. If it's a sizable chunk and you get enough story there, I will. Well, hold on. Wait. So Lucius says 7 Deadly Sins is an ass anime. So first of all, the manga is obviously way better, right? But somebody says the manga is better than the anime, right? But season 1 was very good. It didn't crap the bed until season 2. Season 2 was one of the biggest letdowns in all of anime history, second only to the Berserk thing.
Pixels in here.
The anime only because you probably only watched season 1. I don't think you say you like it and you watch season 2.
So I'm not gonna divert. I'm gonna let it stand. Let's debate if 7 Deadly Sins is a good anime or not further in our Discord. Shout out to the Discord peeps who are in the house. And by the way, hit the like button if you haven't done so already.
Season 1 was good.
So here's some slander from me real quick because I have to be that way. This part right here looks like they spent more time on showing off. They spent more energy on the marketing than they actually did on the actual controller. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, yeah, I want to.
It looks like more energy was spent showing this off, this beautiful CG thing they did than what they actually did for the controller. Because the controller was like, yeah, I just put a
controller with a nosebleed.
Exactly. Just put a side eye on there. Boom, we're done. Kratos, keep it moving. Like, come on, guys. You could have done a bit more than this. Forgive me. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, come on. The show off of this was so much cooler than what you actually showed off.
Now, what is more interesting? Why do you think they'd make PC speakers?
That's a weird thing. They have a different brand. They're making, and we don't have that shown off here. They have a different brand, right? That they do their PC accessories with. But why would you show all of that off specifically at an Xbox, at a PlayStation show? That just was like really weird. You didn't show anything else but PC speakers, and then moved on.
I think it tells you what direction they're headed in.
But even there, I would show the headset, which we know they also have headsets. They have other accessories. Like, join it. Say, this is our block showing you the accessories we have available for this ecosystem. You didn't even do that. You just showed speakers and went, okay, moving on. What? It was kind of weird. I don't know. I thought it was very strange. Very strange. Anyway, Pioneer, Fada Super Chat, he says, looking forward to Crimson Desert. What are your thoughts? I think Crimson Desert looks to be super cool when it releases. What worried me and still worries me about it is they're trying to go for like ultimate realism simulation kind of thing. Like when we spoke to them last time, they were like, if you're trying to travel to a certain world or another region, sometimes you could get on your steed and ride like a whole day, literally a whole physical day in a direction in order for them in order for you to get to that place. I think that's cool from a technology standpoint, but will that be fun? Right? Like, we'll see. Because, when he said that, I was like, I don't know if people want to do that though, right? They want to fast travel. They don't want to ride literally 8 real human hours in order to get to where they're going, That seemed a little weird to me. But like as Lucius has
I don't know if I remember it.
True.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember it in the way that you explained it. And fast travel is absolutely a thing.
It is it is available. It feels
like
available.
It feels like you may be remembering it with what Dragon's Dogma wanted you to do to travel.
No. Like honestly, this is a thing with Crimson Desert. You do have a lot of realism there as well. The gentleman we spoke with, actually, I even have digital receipts. You spoke with him, specifically said that you can travel, like obviously all the tropes of open world and all that is there, including fast travel and all that. But you can literally walk in the direction of your target, right? Your objective, and you'll be walking days to get there because it's realistic in that way.
Yeah, but I don't think they have a game map that takes you 48 hours to walk across from one side to the other. I don't think that's
and I'm not being very specific with the numbers, but what the point I'm trying to make is it is more realistic. They're going for realistic than they are, quickly get you to.
But there's
that stuff
demons flying around. I don't think they're going realistic either, and it's very stylized combat as well. So I don't know. I didn't like. My concern is if what they told us, can they actually deliver on what they've been promising?
Yeah, it looks too good to be true. In general, it looks too good to be true. Yeah. Yes. BKNY face 23 BKNY with a $2 super chat. He says the speakers also connect to PlayStation and PlayStation Portal. That is true. It's still a little weird though. Right. It was kind of out of left field. It felt like it didn't belong. Like that could have been a blog post to me, but okay, I get you. It does connect to the existing ecosystem, which is a thing. All right, quickly before we move on to the Xbox TGS stuff, what do you think? Yobi, shout out to Yobi. You missed our early convo. He says, "Peace, love, life." Did y'all hear the rumors about EA? Yeah, we just talked about that. Right now, it's just notable. Potentially, it could be huge news. It could potentially upend a lot of things, right? But when I show what it looks like today, it's just very eyebrow raising. We're putting a pin in it. We're going to get back to that soon enough to see what it ultimately becomes, But Everborn Saga, Wolverine. For me, Wolverine saved this state of play. Yeah, I saw a bunch of games. I liked what I saw in Soros. I really did. But by and large, like a bunch of the games were just like, okay, it was cool. Nothing really was unique and surprising to me until I saw this. What are your thoughts, sir?
I would just like to say, are you familiar with the term a shit sandwich?
Oh boy.
So you had something really good at the top, really good at the bottom, but in the middle, but anyway, no, this did look very, very good. I love the brutality of it. And I know that you are a big fan of the one that came out. Who made the one? Mm-hmm. The one that you can't buy anymore? Origins.
Technically, a Microsoft studio made that. It was my goodness. Now you put me on the spot. I will find it. Hold on.
But this is that like turned up to another level in the same way that
it's like they took the lessons, they took the homework seriously.
Right.
They definitely remember that.
That's classic Insomniac, right? Because Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions had really good like traversal and things like that. But when Insomniac adds that cinematic flavor and ups the
Raven Studios made that, by the way. Okay. Raven Studios, who by the way is an ABK studio. So Microsoft Studio made that.
I love that. I want to see how how the moveset evolves, because if it is what makes Spider-Man great is the combat and the traversal and how they mix the two, and they mix it with the cinematics. So obviously we got the cinematics here, but the sort of hack and slash nature of what Wolverine's moveset are, how creative can they get? I trust Insomniac will get that creative, but I do wonder if the chopping people up. I mean, you tell me in the other game, like will that get old, or do they have enough enough
So in the
variety
old game,
to mix it up.
I will tell you that they gave you almost RPG elements. So over time, his skills grew and grew and grew. Eventually, you get like crazy jumps where you see how he just did that in here. And by the way, we from what we can tell, this part right here is the most actual gameplay we got. Like all this that you're seeing here is actual gameplay.
By the way, wasn't that animation taken from Spider-Man right there, where he did the uppercut and came down? Back it up a second. Back it up a second. No. Hold on. Tell me if you haven't seen that before. Wait. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. Yep.
This right here. Wait, no. It's
okay.
It's about to come up.
Yeah. And then he jumps up
that
like
right
that.
there.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's good.
Uh-huh.
I love it. My here's my big thing, right? I think it's gonna be great. My question to you and the chat: does Spider-Man show up in this game?
If he doesn't, that's a wasted opportunity. Definitely needs to. Like, you're building your own MCU in the Marvel's verse with this is such a wasted opportunity if both Spider-Man and Venom don't show up here. They definitely should, right? To remind you, hey, we have these guys as well. You should remember.
I think right? If they do it, it'll have a similar effect of like the MCU in the early days, and it will build a certain level of hype that will make
this is the point. And that's why it's a wasted opportunity if they don't. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's why they should definitely do it. By the way, this is what you're talking about. This is the reference design, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not doing it like this, and if you haven't played this, you need to go seek it out. It is X-Men Origins Wolverine, the Uncaged edition. Don't play the non-Uncaged edition because that one's trash in comparison. But this is the Uncaged edition. I've actually played this on stream before as well. It is really, really, really good. Obviously, it's a game of its time. By today's standard, by 2025 standards, they need to do it wouldn't do well today. But this walked so that games like what's about to come out here could run. And you can tell if you've played some of this that a lot of those ideas started here. So, if they didn't do this, if they didn't follow this lineage, I would have thought it was a very bad, unfortunate thing that they did. But seeing what I saw from Wolverine, the trailer that Insomniac showed, they definitely took notes from this game, like very, very much. The visceral nature of it, the combat heavy, like blood, like while you're fighting, you see Wolverine himself just like deteriorating before your eyes because people are shooting him and causing there to be blood splatter, and like you can see his organs exposed. All of that is in this game. So it was early on, but it was super special, and it looks like Insomniac is taking this forward, and I think that's awesome. But anyway, continue.
So yeah, I 100% agree. It's a missed opportunity if Spider-Man doesn't show up. If Hulk shows up, that will be fantastic. Because I definitely
didn't we already kind of get the Hulk? Didn't we hear that they might do that already though? Isn't that in the leak?
There's Easter eggs there for it, and if it's there, if you just look at some of the set pieces and the boss fights that Insomniac set up for the Spider-Man games, like it is going to be nothing short of fantastic. So I think with the level of brutality, and then Insomniac's sort of cinematic combat style, I just think that they've got a hit on their hands. And then they have, what is it, Liam McIntyre? Liam,
you mean aka you mean Spartacus,
the second Spartacus, because the
JD
first
Phoenix.
Yeah, but the first Spartacus.
Nobody wants to acknowledge JD Phoenix. They just want to keep it moving. The guy you hated so much, JD Phoenix. Yeah, he is Wolverine now.
So
people hated JD Phoenix with a passion of a fire of 1,000 suns, and now he's playing the voice of Wolverine. How do we feel about that? I wonder.
So aside from JD Phoenix, he played Spartacus as he replaced.
He was great in Spartacus. He replaced the other gentleman who unfortunately passed away. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Which
he
by the
did a
way,
good
and
job.
anyone who hasn't watched Spartacus, you need to correct that. Great gem of a show. Even after the initial protagonist was replaced with Liam, great show.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Andy Whitfield is who he replaced, but I feel like
Mm.
he properly held the mantle. And if you can play Spartacus, I think you can play Wolverine. So I think
Hashtag not my Wolverine's face.
I mean, sure, but what I will say is I genuinely thought they were gonna go back to this guy that everybody uses, the one that did Indiana Jones's voice.
Oh yeah. Enough already.
Yeah. When they were teeing it up, they were like the only person that could do Wolverine's voice. I was like, it's gonna be him, isn't it?
Of course,
this guy again.
Of course.
But yeah. I think the actor they got was very good to play this role. And I think the game was good. My
Pix
question
is on the hunt right now. He's calling the Team Wolverine. Damn.
So the question is, when do you see this game coming to PC? What's the lag?
Oh, I think 6 months at most.
Is this one that they keep for a while because this will move consoles?
I think this is 6 months at most. By the time it comes out, I think by the time it releases, I think the console industry is a different industry by then, because we are all moving in different ways. But I don't know. I don't know about like them following that traditional model with this, because again, there's a lot of money spent here, and they've already seen the ROI on putting it on PC. So waiting and doing all that and doing the secondary, a second marketing push, which we all know that marketing tends to be a really an expense-driven thing. I don't know. I think 6 months, possibly. I see BKNY saying 12 months. I respectfully disagree. I think it'll be a shorter window, because 12 months means you have to then rekindle your fire when it comes to all the marketing. And why bother go through twice the marketing budget when you could kind of dovetail them all together? I don't see 12 months.
I think for this one, I think Soros will be 6 months, but I do think this one will be at least a year. I think if this comes out holiday 26, I think holiday 27 is when it goes to PC. Just this one, but the other ones I do think we see shorter windows, like Soros.
Legendary Yobi knows exactly what it's about. Can't wait to use Old Man Logan mods. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Can't wait myself. I'm excited. Now, this is a game that I will buy on the PS5. Like, I'll buy it on the PS5.
I'll wait till it comes to PC.
Unless there's other things that are killing my backlog. Like, I don't mind playing this on PlayStation. Yeah.
Pixel says 6 months, and none of the marketing says PS only. That is interesting.
Yep.
But is Sony still doing PlayStation only in their marketing anymore?
I think they're still they still know who tends to watch these things. So for now, they're not gonna like anger them by putting like, oh, it's going everywhere in there, right? But to Pixel's point, I don't think they're moving based on how those people think anymore. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, even though they may not necessarily put it on Front Street, because they know the old school heads are watching these shows.
Yeah, I see some,
and them old school heads don't like that.
Marcus is saying 2 years at least. I wouldn't go that far. So
I don't think so either. Yeah,
I give it 12 to 14 months.
Once you have the numbers on paper that you can reference to see what your games do in other industries, as a publicly traded company, it becomes harder and harder to justify why you wait so long to make that money.
Yeah, especially
considering the fact that the longer you wait, the less of that money you'll make. Like, it's a thing. You were saying.
I think the other thing to consider is, since they're only doing like 1 to 2 of these tent poles a year, I don't think you could wait too long, because pipeline is not like what it used to be. So because these things take longer, they cost more money. So I can't see 2 years, but I can see them waiting longer on this than a Soros.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either way. You know, they are the only ones that are currently in this paradigm, right? Microsoft has moved on. Nintendo, we've been doing Nintendo different things. So the question now becomes, how do they move specifically with this? Do they go back to the PS4 days of buy my box and play my game? I don't know that the industry will allow it.
I want to address something, right? Well, no, hold on. This one here. Sony only makes 2% on PC. So here's the thing, right? I see that a lot, and people think, oh, 2%, that's nothing. They don't care about it. If it's nothing, why do they keep doing it, right? And you're talking about 2% of extra revenue on games that are effectively all upside, and you're talking about a company that is making sub 10% margins. So if you are trying to get to 10% margins, that means if they make $30 billion, they keep $3 billion, right? So when you're at 7 and 8% margins, an extra 2% of your revenue coming from a thing that doesn't have the same kind of development costs because you already did most of the development work, 2% matters a lot.
Yeah. And by the way, that's 2% of a pool that is far larger than what you have access to in your ecosystem. So that 2% could equal so much more dough for you than even your entire pool, being that that's 2% of the PC ecosystem, right? Huge, like an ocean compared to the lake that you swim in. So that's why they keep doing it. And I think it is still an advantageous thing for them that they continue to do. But let's talk a bit of the Xbox
but
stuff before we get out of here.
I do agree they'll wait longer on something like a Wolverine because I think that has the potential to drive. I don't think that they'll stomach 2 years of waiting. That's all I'm saying.
All right. So I will ask at the end of this second block which one did it better. But let's talk about the Xbox Tokyo Game Show presentation. Right? They showed a couple things. So some that we hadn't seen before, some that we had, right? First and foremost, Gungrave Gore, Blood Heat. This is the second in the first. They already had a Gungrave game on Game Pass. I think what was it, 2 years ago? So this is the second in that line. You like that? That spoke to you?
Yeah, I think it looked pretty good. I'll be checking that one out.
Okay, so there's definitely that Gungrave, and then they had Fatal Frame 2. What do you think of that?
I don't know if I cared about that.
2003 game, PS2 game, remake.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
You're good on that. Okay. How about Animo? First thing I thought when I saw this was, oh boy, is this a Pocket Pair flying too close to the sun, or is this another developer trying to push what Pocket Pair started? And it looks like it's another developer trying to push what Pocket Pair started.
Hey,
it's not Pal World, right? It's Paw Print Studios, kind of treading on the same ground. What do you think?
Not for me, but I'll.
As long as they don't have anything to summon any creatures, they should be safe. If they do have summoning of creatures, they got problems. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
For Gungrave, this was already out, and it's just now coming to Xbox. Is that what's happening?
No, I think this is. Hold on here. It's a complete reimagining for Unreal Engine 5. Yeah.
Steam says it released in 2022.
You mean the Blood Heat version?
No, this is just Gungrave Gore.
Yes, that's the thing. Gungrave Gore existed. That's the one that we saw on Xbox. This is Gungrave Gore Blood Heat. Different version.
Okay.
Newer version. Potential remake, right? Look, if you read it from their description, Gungrave is back, this time bigger than ever. The cult classic that first launched in 2002 is being completely reimagined with Gungrave Gore Blood Heat, a full rebirth of the series built in Unreal Engine 5. So the game but built in Unreal Engine 5. Everything from the combat to level design has been rebuilt, aiming to modernize the over-the-top gunplay that keeps a dark gothic edge intact. So in other words, same game, new skin.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's not the second of the game; it's the first game, but re-released in Unreal Engine 5. So interesting. Hopefully, it does better numbers, and that will facilitate them making Gungrave 2. Or maybe they're already making Gungrave 2, and this was their way of cleaning up themselves up for Unreal Engine 5. You know, that's what developers tend to do, right? They port their games to the new engine before they create a new version. So maybe there's that. What about Monster Hunter series coming to Xbox?
So I thought that was a notable thing, right? Because previously they hadn't gotten Monster Hunter Story, so we knew that they were getting 3, but now, like, in the lead up to that, now they're getting 1 and 2. I think that is a net positive. I did want to check these out because they did look interesting to me. These are turn-based games?
I don't think so. Am I wrong? I don't think these are turn-based, are they? I don't tend to play them, so please, chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think these are turn-based games. The first of which is coming to the PS5. Yeah, they're mobile games. But are they turn-based combat? That's what we need to know. See, and Karate Laundromat has it on iPad, so there's that. You know, let us know. Are these specifically turn-based games, or are they fully free-flowing? How do they handle the combat system? Would like to know that as well. Moving on from there, we had Dragon Quest 1 and 2, also remakes, and Karate Laundromat comes back and says they are not turn-based. So there's that.
Oh, well. Action games.
Yeah. So there's that. That's cool.
Have to look into these.
Yep.
I mean, on Steam.
Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD remake. What do you think?
I'm glad they're coming. I think it just shows the commitment that even though they have like almost no market share, that they in Japan, that they're pressing to bring these games to the platform for people who want to play it.
And I think that's where the play anywhere move comes from, because either you're buying it on PC and you're getting it on console, or you're buying it on console, getting it on PC. Good look. A lot of play anywhere stuff going on here with that. That's a good, I think. You know, now Project Evil Bane. I heard you talking about this. What did you think?
This one looked very interesting.
Okay.
The trailer, the action, all of it. I think it looked. I think it looked very good.
Now, is this a like a Soulsborne style, or what kind of game do we think this is?
I don't know, but when I saw the combat, it didn't give me Souls vibe. It gave me like hack and slash vibes.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I do see sword and board kind of style, so that's up your alley. But this is what made the presentation for you. You really appreciated this?
I wouldn't say it made the presentation, but it was probably just considering I had seen most of this stuff already, one of the more interesting things from the show.
Okay.
You know what's funny?
Combat, like any actual oh, there he goes. I was gonna.
Yeah,
is there?
This is what I was talking about.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
It does look interesting.
This is what sold me on it. What's funny about the show? I don't think there were any highs that were as high as Wolverine and
yes.
Soros, but as far as the meat and potatoes, like I thought this show had a lot. It had more stuff that I was interested
in. Okay, so this does look cool. It does look cool, and yes, it does look like an MMO to me as well. Even though I'm not seeing it say MMO, it does look like it has MMO energy. We'll see what ultimately it looks like. Coming in the second half of 2026. I had a chance to get hands-on with Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm even more excited for it every time I see it. What did it do for you? Is this something you're playing?
No. Like 100%. Can't wait for this. This is day one. This is one of those things that's on Game Pass, but I'm going to purchase just to keep in the collection.
I feel like they should stop showing more of this stuff. Like it's at that level of okay. We want it.
I've actually been staying away from watching the trailers for this. So they can show what they want. I'm not gonna watch it, but this is absolutely a day one. I just have to beat Shinobi before this comes out.
Okay, so
like I'm day one. It's already there, 100%. You know, I think it's good. Mist Fall Hunter, a PvP extraction RPG, didn't really do the didn't call too much to me on that. Terminal Brigade, I did see that free to play game also, like speaking to people, didn't speak too much to me. A lot of free to play stuff doesn't. It is what it is. Obviously, Call of Duty being a thing, like I feel like Call of Duty is kind of like literally going to be in every single Microsoft announcement trailer moving forward. You know, it's the known commodity. People love it,
as it should.
You know, as it should. You got the big dog. You got to make sure you show them off. You know, it's all good. My smoke, and this is smoke from me. My smoke is Forza Horizon 6. Right? They say it's coming out in 2026. Right? That's what it says. 2026 release window. Didn't show anything at all. Like not. They showed as much as Contraband.
Here's what I think is going on. I think they're saving that for the Keeleys when they got 100 million people watching, and not that many people watch this. So they wanted to let them know it's coming, because obviously you got a Japan-based game coming, and you're at TGS, you got to show them something. But that the trailer wasn't ready yet, and so I think that I think they're explicitly saving that for.
But I kind of feel like it's a wasted opportunity, though, right? Like. The first time you show it,
we're
you show
paying
a gift,
attention, and we want to see it now, right? And I get that impetus, but I don't think showing it, like, I think they'll get a bigger bang for their buck at the Game Awards when you got all those people watching.
Yeah. Dennis says that the Tokyo Game Show is not that important for Microsoft. So it seems, but I wish that changes. Right? Every time they do it, I'm like, is this the year they take it seriously? Because I want that to change. I want every show that they go
taking it. I'm going to argue they are taking it seriously with all the games they're getting to come to the platform, right?
It's true. But I guess for the purposes of the show itself, and I too will say they are taking it more seriously than they ever have, because they announced a game here that was not announced before, right? In the form of TGS, in the form of Forza Horizon 6, right? But I wish they had, shown us a bit more of a trailer.
I think we wanted to see more of a trailer, regardless of when it was, because at the end of the day, they did announce it at TGS, right?
It's coming 2026, so that tells me you definitely have footage of it. Why not show it?
And I'm almost positive that you'll see that footage at the Keeleys. But I do think they started the pre-orders the same day as their showcase at TGS. They announced Tokyo. They announced Forza taking place in Tokyo, and then they added a bunch of like back catalog type of games like Monster Hunter Stories and stuff for that audience. So I think that does show they're taking Japan very seriously, and they're trying to patch the holes that they have in their armor. So,
all right. So before we get out of here,
this wasn't ready yet.
Before we get out of here, because I don't want to make it too long, let's just cut through the last couple of them real quickly here. And actually, before I even do that, the great Pixel Big G with a $5 super chat. He says, also note, Wolverine ain't never selling Spider-Man numbers with those decapitation moves. Absolutely. So I would actually give them credit for that. Slow clap on them knowing
how they got around it, right?
Yes,
they're using the cybernetics. So it's like, it doesn't count.
But they're still spreading blood all over the place, knowing damn well that will mean that it won't sell as much. But they're still doing it because that's what's best for that character. I think that's great. So shout out to them for that. Winterboro launching November 12th. Yeah, I know it's that mouse game. Who cares? Whatever. I actually enjoyed this.
Very interesting.
It was super interesting. I'm trying to remind people not to sleep on this one, because my time with it was super, like, I was impressed.
So real quick, 1 second. So the market says we don't know gaming, it will sell well. Selling well and selling Spider-Man numbers are two different things. And that's all we're discussing. The game will absolutely sell well.
You'll need to sell Spider-Man numbers if you're going to make any kind of
Wolverine comics don't sell Spider-Man numbers. And even if Deadpool and Wolverine, the last one, did $1 billion, you know how much the last Spider-Man movie did? $2 billion.
Yep.
So Spider-Man's a bigger character from a merchandising perspective, from a movie perspective, and from a video game perspective. So all we're saying is, if you're going into this thing thinking it's going to do Spider-Man numbers, you might be mistaken.
So Lamarcus, we appreciate you standing 10 toes down. We invite you to join our Discord because we have a news archive that we would love to put this in on, which is that Wolverine will sell better than Spider-Man. Wolverine is going to go crazy. I don't know, bro. We'll see. I don't know about that. Spider-Man being PG-13 brings all the boys and men to the yard. Wolverine being what it is will limit its audience. So, sir, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I think you will be mistaken if you think that it will make that number, because kids aren't allowed to play this. They just aren't. Right. So it will limit that reach.
Some
we shall
kids
see.
aren't
But
allowed
anyway.
to play it.
Most
anyway.
Kids will play it anyway, but because it's not something that your mom will just buy for you if you're under 18, chances are that will limit the scope. That's a big reason why we were scared that they would not make Wolverine as violent as it needs to be. And I don't know, we shall see. But all right, let's move forward. Let's see. So
it might do 10 million, Lamarcus, but Spider-Man sold a lot more than that. I think you should look these Spider-Man numbers up.
Yeah, that's not Spider-Man numbers, right? Like 10 million will be actually considered fail for them because this is a big project.
10 million I think 10 million is good.
It's good, you think?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You think 10 million is good?
I think that's a success story. But again, the game's gonna do well. All we're saying is it's not gonna do Spider-Man numbers. I don't know why that's so hard to.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. You've played the other Double Dragon game. What do you think of this Double Dragon game?
I might own this game. Hold on.
Because we played the other Double Dragon game and we love that other Dragon game.
Well, you're talking about the pixel art Double Dragon game, right?
Yes. And now they're coming out with another one, which is more 2.5D. What do you think? I actually like the pixel art one better so far, from what I can tell.
Yeah, this is in my library, I think.
You think? Okay. Double Dragons.
No, it's not. I'm pretty sure I have this. It might be on. It might need to unlock somewhere.
Okay.
But yes, I'm all about this game.
Okay. One thing though, this was a surprise for me. Hotel Barcelona. It's weird. It's a Suda game. It looks really weird and kind of funky. I saw it on the Xbox, rather the Windows Store, available to purchase right now. I think it's kind of cool looking. The thing that kind of stopped me from buying it is that it's multiplayer focused, and I'm like, I don't know about that. But they look pretty cool. What do you think? Not for you.
Yeah, I mean, no. This is my type of game. I'm here for it. I didn't like the reveal of it. I felt like that wasn't
weirdly revealed as they tend to.
Yeah.
It's fine. But no, I think this thing looks pretty interesting. You might find me putting some time into it. But yeah, so my only bit of smoke. The reason why I wanted to stop, pause, and have a more conversation about Forza Horizon 6. I feel like had we gotten more of a trailer there, this could have been a more competitive show as on its own to the PlayStation 1. But because they gave us like a full court press with Wolverine, I kind of think that the state of play was better from a show perspective. They showed.
I mean, where did you see more games that you'd play? If it was the PlayStation one, then yes. To me, I saw two great games. Other than the games that we had already seen in the middle, there was nothing really in the middle. So for this, this was a more steady show. But again, the highs were way higher at Sony's show. So if you think that Soros and Wolverine just made that whole show, then I kind of do. Yeah, there was nothing at this show that was at that level except for Forza, but Forza didn't show gameplay. So I can understand how you get there, but if we're just going by like the list of games, I think there were more on the
Xbox show. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot more on the Xbox show than there was on the others. But for me, like I liked the PlayStation one because they showed me something new, something unique that I hadn't seen before in the form of Wolverine. Without that Wolverine, though, I think that show would have fallen flat.
One game made the whole show better, is what you're saying.
For me, yes. One game made the whole, because that's one thing. If you're watching this, for me, when I'm watching an event, a gaming event, my question to myself is, like, after I finish watching this game event, what is that one game that I will wish list or I will now be hyped for? It's now on my radar. And Wolverine was definitely that. Right? It joined my radar. I was like, okay, yep, they've done it. Right? And that's the game I wanted to, that I left with. And for me, it was successful because I found that one. Right? If you don't find that one, then it's kind of like the whole thing is unsuccessful for you. Without that one, the show would have been unsuccessful for me. I do agree with you that on the Xbox side, there were more potentials as far as potential games that you would like. Than on the
I think you're
side.
just the Marvel zombie, and they showed you Marvel goodness.
No doubt. No doubt. I'm a Marvel zombie.
Listen, hey,
it's
everybody
true.
got their own rubrics.
It's true. I am a Marvel zombie from way back. I will not deny it. So for me, and after they had already like kind of let the cat out of the bag, unfortunately, with the Marvel thing, and it didn't look so well. I was worried about it. Be honest with you, right? I was especially thinking that they may have to delay it and potentially like change it up a little bit so that it's not what it looked like in the leak. What they showed here was very confident, very cool, and very confident. So I'm good.
They didn't do extra OD footage, which we didn't talk about at the Xbox.
Yeah, they didn't do that.
You're publishing it. You should have had it at showcase, but I guess let Kojima do it. So tell me what you think about that, and I guess we can wrap this all up.
So the OD, I like you said, I need to see more, like far more. I do like what I've seen, right? I expected to see more, being that the game has been in the zeitgeist for so long at this point, right? I wanted him to kind of do a full court press, and I don't feel like this was that. You disagree?
No, I mean, I think this was enough to show like what the game is and what the storytelling style and visual elements that they're going for. Honestly, I think if the Xbox show would have started with PT, like how the Sony show started with Sorrows, sorry, not PT, look at me, Freudian slip, but started with OD and ended with actual footage of Forza, I think it would have been right up there with the Sony show. It would have maybe even surpassed it. For when we think of the level of things that they were showing, because I do think Forza 6 stands head to head with Wolverine, and this, because it's so out there, like you know, this is up there with Sorrow. So
weird stuff. Like the whole thing is just super weird and unsettling, and anyway, all right, yeah. So there's that. Yes, classic creepy. That's right. Yes. So there's that. Graphically, it looks great. It really does look pretty cool. So you know, we shall see. But yeah, to your point, they should have shown this as part of the show, and they didn't. You know, it should have been part of their TGS like official showcase. I think that may have been a bit. It would have like made a bigger splash to me. I agree with you, Big Man Mo. Play Anywhere made the show better on Xbox. The fact that they had Play Anywhere like really definitely defined for most, if not all, the games did do a lot. I agree.
And I also think they should have dropped the pre-orders at the show.
At the show, yeah,
right,
100%.
So you had this right here. This is your game. It's ready. You should have showed it at your show. You should have showed more from Forza. And if you had the pre-orders, you would have been talking about A+ showcase.
Yeah.
But execution is everything.
True. So before we get out of here, because it's about that time to get out of here, I will say this: join our Discord. discord.gg/TGCP, because we have these kind of conversations all the time, and we want more and more folks to join us. You are all welcome to join us. I will also say, if you haven't hit that like button, please do so on your way out, because you need to do so. I think we're at 73 likes. I'd like to see 100, since we've had more than many people watching our show right now. Also, before we get out of here, I will also say we recognize there are a lot of handheld gamers out there that may potentially be joining the ranks because of the Xbox Ally and all these other handheld conversations that we're having. And for you, I say, bam! This is a game called Death's Gambit, Steam game. Code's on the screen. Why is there a code on the screen? Because I got to be honest with you, I'm doing some spring cleaning right now. I'm being forced to do some spring cleaning right now. And because of that, I have a lot of extra codes that I have codes lying around. See what I'm going to do with it. I have no idea what I'm doing with it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me throw it to the screen. Let me put it on Gen Pop. Let me hand it out. Hopefully somebody gets it. If you do, let me know you got your hands on it. Death's Gambit, great game. I hope somebody gets their hands on it and plays it. If that doesn't sound like a game for you, how about this one then? Bam! Middle-earth, Shadows of Mordor. Classic game. And this is to build your Steam library. If you have not built that Steam library, you're getting your hands on the ROG Ally, the Xbox Ally, or one of those devices, and you're like, hey, how am I going to build my Steam library? Here are a couple games for you. So, Mr. Everborn Saga, sir, where can people keep up with your ongoings this week?
Mostly in the Discord, but we're getting dangerously close to New York Comic Con 2025, October 9th through the 12th. Everborn Saga will be at booth 2039. This is the same booth we were at last year. So if you saw us last year, you can come back to the same place. But if you want to see us again this year, come check us out. We got some new items to share with you.
Fantastic. So what did I show off here? I want to make sure I remove them from my list so it does not become. I showed Death's Gambit, which I will cross off my list right now. I hope you got that, because if you didn't, too bad, it's gone now. And then I'm right now showing Middle-earth, Shadows of Mordor, and that's also very cool. I hope people get a chance to play it. One more before I go. Let me think. One more before I go. Which one would it be? Oh, there's this one. All right. So once again, and he's not here, but I will. He's not here probably because he's really busy right now. But I will once again pimp his wares, and I will ask that all of us hopefully make an appearance and go check it out. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Swedish Game Awards, being hosted by Aaron and his team. Well, not hosted, but they're behind it. They are hosting this. They're putting on this show. It'll be tonight, the Swedish Game Awards. It will be in English. I will put once again the link to it in the chat. I hope more people check it out. It's in English. We always complain that we want these award shows to be about merit and this, that, and the third. This seems like it might be another show that might do that for us. So I hope more people check it out. If you happen to check it out, let them know that GCP sent you. Final code for the day, because we about them codes today. Injustice, Gods Among Us, the Ultimate Edition. These are all Steam codes. If you haven't played that yet, go check it out. Here's the Steam code for it. Once again, we'll regroup. Death's Gambit, there's the code. Middle-earth, Shadows of Mordor, there's the code. And Injustice, Gods Among Us, the Ultimate Edition, there's the code. So, thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all so much for checking out the show. As you know, we do this every week. We are heading dangerously close to episode 200. How about y'all give us some recommendations? We're at 193 right now. What would you like us to do for episode 200? What would you like us to see? If we were in a world where anything we say could happen happens, what would you like us to do to celebrate episode 200? I would love to hear it. But yeah, I think that's it, Everborn Saga. What do you think? Anything else you need to tell the people?
I got nothing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. It's been a great week. Thank you so much. Oh, I see you, Lucius. I see you, sir. I see you. Your lips, God's ears, man. Let's go. But yes, that's it. It's been a great time. Thank y'all so much for being here. And again, check out the Discord. Let these conversations continue to flow all throughout the week, or come back and check us out again next week. Till then, have a good one. Peace.